Hello, all newcomers, and welcome back, my fellow Aeternians. As always, it is me, Emperor AP, and today I am hanging out with the one, the only Tiffany, and we are working on a transformer. Um, so I figured this would be a fantastic time for us to talk about technology and micronations. However, I didn't prepare enough for the stream, so I didn't get my setup proper to have it aimed down at us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and see if I can't set that up. And see if I can't help out a little bit in improving what you guys can see, but I'll give you the quick tour. We have Drew jumping in saying hello. Hello, Drew. It's good to see you. Fake name said Ave. Hey, it's good to see you. Fake name. Gorth says, hey, AP. Hey, Gorth, how are you? I've been seeing some of your TikToks. Pretty cool stuff. So, let me see. Okay, so we have this huge transformer right here. This thing is pretty dang beefy. As you can see, it's got 3 different coils on it. This was for a 3-phase transformer, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that in future videos as we get this thing taken apart and actually fixed. Richard joined us. Hey, it's good to see you, Richard. I've been missing you. I've been hoping you're doing okay. It's good to see you, and I'm excited to talk more about stuff. I need to email you. I need to reach out.
I'm not letting him forget about the t-shirt.
That is correct. Tiffany is not.
I keep reminding him every day, and he doesn't listen to me.
I do listen. I'm trying to get stuff set up so that I can get it done. But yes, we have not forgotten about your t-shirt, Richard. Still excited to get it to you. So,
It's been a year.
even though it has been a year.
A year.
A year. Backlogs. Lots of backlogs on things. But my apologies. Trying to make progress and trying to get all the things that we have been trying to do fulfilled. So, that being the case, right now, one of the biggest things that we need to do, that we've been trying to upgrade, is our technology. Of course, we're working on our land. We're trying to get our shelter built. We're trying to have some way to stay out there because it's over an hour away from us. So we want to be able to get to be able to be more efficient while working. We don't want to have to drive all the way out there, drive all the way back to work for 2 or 3 hours, and spend 2 or 3 hours driving just to get out there and back. So that's a lot of gas, that's a lot of time and effort that's spent effectively just in travel. So in order to cut down on those costs and maximize our efficiency, what we're going to be trying to do instead is to actually build a shelter out there so that we can start to store some things, tools, equipment that we will need to work on the land so we don't have to move all those things back and forth all the time, and also so that we can start to camp out there. I've talked about that in previous live streams, but one of the most crucial things that we need to do in continuing that is to upgrade some of our technology, because we're of course going to need water out there, we're of course going to need septic, we're of course going to need electricity, and all of those things have plans in the work. But some of the things that don't have a ton of planning and a ton of preparation right now is how we're going to migrate our industries. As you all know, we have started working on Aeternian metals refining. That's something that we've sold on our Imperial market with our aluminum ingots, and that you guys have seen David, our blacksmith, creating some copper and aluminum ingots for us as well, as we're continuing to move forward with that industry. But we don't just want to move forward linearly, we want to upgrade, we want to advance. So as we get out on the land and we start to have access to electricity, we want to immediately start pursuing upgrades for our industries and start making some money that'll help us to grow everything in a way that we need to be able to sustain ourselves. So that's what we're working on today. We have this cool transformer that we're working on to actually become our new upgraded modified electric arc furnace. So there's a lot that's exciting going on there, and we're going to have to continue to keep you guys updated as we continue progress on that electric arc furnace. But for the time being, I also want to talk about just why it's important for Micronations to have technology and to be upgrading technology. So in case any of you all are trying to develop your Micronations and trying to figure out what the necessary components that you need are, this isn't in the, even in the top 3, top 5, something like that. But it's something to be thinking about as you're developing your nation, because ultimately, I'm going to move this product placement right here. We got the Budweiser Budweiser thing. Yeah, I see what you're trying to say. I want to see if I can move this Budweiser product placement out of here as much as possible. It's still in the shot. Oh gosh. Maybe that'll do it. Good enough. We're leaving it. So, that being the case, we have talked about all the things that are so important in understanding why it is that you're developing your nation and understanding what the important features of your way of going about it is. But we haven't talked about strategies for pursuing your own interests in developing a micronation. One of the biggest things is looking at how much money and how much time you have. We always need to be able to develop industries as micronations. We always need ways to make money, especially if we're starting out with a very small amount of it. Richard says AP having a bad hair day. I haven't done too much with my hair today, but I am definitely working on it. That being the case, I feel like it's really, really important for us to discuss this concept of upgrading technology. What does that mean? And why does it benefit a micronation to do that? Of course, it makes sense. Oh, if you upgrade technology, if you improve things, you make things easier, more efficient, and of course, that makes you money. But what does that mean practically? Does that mean huge, large-scale industries and like research and development departments for companies? Or does that mean, DIY hobby projects? And I think for micronations, it lands somewhere in between. Of course, you need to be able to pursue what you can as much as possible to be able to upgrade as quickly as possible. So you want to put as much time and effort as you can into that process of trying to improve what you have. A lot of the times, the things that you're going to buy from the store will help you, but unless you have a ton of money right away, which most micronations are in the position that they don't, you can't really rely on just being able to buy all the things that you need. For example, if you want to increase your self-sufficiency, you should try and get off the grid. That's what a lot of people talk about when they talk about, going out and buying land and roughing it, so to speak. They're like, oh, well, you just buy stuff off the grid and you get on solar and you do all this stuff. But that can be very, very expensive for people and very time consuming, especially for people who don't know how to do that stuff. It can be quite an expensive endeavor to do. And so that being the case, you shouldn't be trying to start that big. And that's one of the things that I really want to advocate. There are a lot of smaller projects, a lot of things that you can learn on the internet, talking to us, just figuring out what it is that your nation's most crucial needs are that you can start to move forward and tackle by just advancing the technology that you have, by seeing the problems that you have, by trying to develop solutions for those problems, and by incorporating those solutions into a growth plan for your nation. That's essentially what the development and advancement of technology for micronations means. Solving your problems through the use of resources that you have, trying to improve and incorporate those resources in a way that makes sense for your growth plan. So that being the case, that's why developing this arc furnace is so important for us and trying to upgrade it. As you can see right now, Tiffany's doing a lot of the work because I'm talking to you guys, but I have been starting off taking a lot of this apart. We're actually taking this core apart right here, and that's a little bit what we were talking about. Richard said Tiffany is the unsung hero of Aeternia. No, I try and sing about Tiffany as much as possible. Tiffany is the out loud and proud hero of Aeternia. Tiffany is absolutely one of the biggest reasons that Aeternia is what it is. And it has always been there every step of the way helping out. So it means a lot. Of course, I started Aeternia before Tiffany and I were together, but every time since I have been with Tiffany that we've ever run into a problem, Tiffany has been right there with a solution. So Tiffany absolutely should get all of the praise for that. We have a few comments that I want to jump in with. Francisco said, at Richard Taylor, yeah, I agree. Francisco says, anyway, hi AP, how's your day going? I appreciate it. I'm doing well. I hope you all are doing well today. It's good to see you all. Fake Name said they got, Cusnaria has entered a formal alliance. Congratulations. Gore says one of my states was attacked. Oh, I'm sorry to hear about that. And Drew said they're sorry to hear about that. Casnaria, tell me more about your alliance. How's that developing? And Francisco, again, I'm doing well. I just graduated with my degree. Tiffany and I have been trying to get some jobs set up and everything, and we are trying to continue to develop the land, as we talked about a minute ago. Every minute that we're not here, that we're not, working on stuff that we need to for our personal lives, we're pretty much out there on the land trying to make that set up for us and livable. So we are taking it day by day, but we're getting there. Casnaria brought up a great point. They said advancement of technology means being able to produce enough for your people. And that's something to talk about as well. A lot of micronations do not have a lot of money, and running and hosting people's survival is something that is very, very expensive. If you're struggling month to month with your own bills, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to assist other people in helping them to grow and develop and to pay theirs as well. This was something that Tiffany and I were just talking about the other day, because for Aeternia, we really want to try and minimize how much people have to actually pay out of their own pockets to be citizens, to support us, to have a place to live and to be comfortable. Of course, we won't be able to foot all of the bill right away, but it's important to us that we continue to make strides in that area. And so you have to come up with ways to foot that bill. You have to come up with ways to make it practical for you to be able to develop. And so upgrading technology just like this is one of the huge factors at play there. It's something that allows us a foothold, a way to get started in competing in industries that we otherwise wouldn't be able to get our foot in the door in. We are having the means to use our skills and our knowledge to apply to long-term growth and development for our country, and it's exciting. Grand Pharaohate of Mew says hello. Hey, Grand Pharaohate, how are you? Francisco says no. Richard, unsung hero of Aeternia is Moondust. That is true. I think Tiffany would agree. Moondust is absolutely Tiffany's favorite, so I'm sure if it was her vote, Moondust for sure would be the unsung hero of Aeternia. Moondust and Uno are definitely the yin and yang of Aeternia, I feel like. Richard says, I try to show Tiffany some love and AP messes it up. No, much love to Tiffany. We'll give a moment of silent appreciation for Tiffany. And for Richard's support of Tiffany. Hey. Okay. Crafter says, hey, remember me? I believe so. I do. Were you... You were one of the people like in the beginning of the channel, weren't you? Have you been gone for like a significant period of time? I remember you, I feel like from more than a year ago, like several years ago. Fake Name says it's brand new and it's a mutual defense alliance based on incursion model for micronational combat. I remember you telling me a little bit about that. I am curious about that though, because it feels like it's very limited in scope, right? Like if you're creating essentially like hosting games for micronations to compete with each other, if you're hosting alliances based on those games, then you're saying, hey, anytime somebody comes to challenge another person in one of these games, they immediately have an ally. They immediately have somebody that they know is going to help them. So I feel like it discourages people from participating in your incursion model because they know that they can enter into situations where they may not realize they are going into an unfair fight, so to speak. Excuse me. Crafter says, I know a plan where we will make 280 euros. Congratulations, Crafters. Francisco says, if you have good land for agriculture, use it. It will make your economy get a lot better. Our GDP went from $1,300 to $15,000 because of agriculture.
Oh, it's super, super fertile out there.
It is.
Whenever we started digging up, it was nothing but like pure soil and just roots like everywhere. It's super nice for growing stuff.
Absolutely. The only thing that we're trying to figure out, so we're not sure how much we want to focus on agriculture um, for economics. You know, we're not necessarily trying to develop cash crops. One, because we want to keep our forest and our natural area as nice and pristine as possible. We don't want to have to level a lot of that land in order to and clear a lot of trees in order to provide agricultural space. We will, however, I think, be doing it a lot for sustenance, you know, creating agriculture and small agricultural setups for providing food and cutting costs for our people. There may be a day eventually where we would get into something like that, but I think right now that's not our primary target. I think based on our skills and abilities, there are potentially more lucrative avenues for us to develop than agriculture. A lot of micronations go toward agriculture because it's direct, it's obvious, it's something that's really necessary for everybody to have, and so it is one of those things that is a really great way to make a lot of money. But I think for us, it comes with a lot of trade-offs that we're still trying to figure out. But Tiffany's 100% right. Our land is great for that, and I know regardless of what we do, Tiffany is interested in agriculture, and she wants to do a lot with a greenhouse. So we'll probably have that being developed and set up pretty soon, at very least for our own sustenance and to provide some cool flora and fauna uniqueness to Aeternia. Crafter says, "What all are you making?" Right now, we are again working on this large transformer. This is a three-phase transformer that we are removing the windings from so that we can rewind it and make our electric arc furnace, a much bigger version than the smaller one you guys saw a while back. Crafter says, "Damn, our GDP is 60." Fake Name says, "Good job, Franco." Agreed. Francisco, that's really cool. Crafter says, I don't know. And then Richard put heart, heart, heart. Tiffany, heart, heart, heart. Showing much love. Silly. Aw. Tiff's got those hearts back. It's a mutual hearting. We love it here. We're all very affectionate Micronations. I appreciate you guys. Silly Sam says, "What technology upgrades are you doing?" So, talking about upgrades in particular, you guys have watched our previous videos, which I recommend you do, on our metals refining industry. We originally had a charcoal furnace that we started out with, it was bad for the environment. It was really at a low temperature, so there wasn't too many metals we could melt. We really could just melt aluminum with it, and we could kind of soften copper to be able to make it a little more malleable. And that was basically it. The charcoal furnace, it took a lot of effort. It was expensive because we had to either purchase charcoal or burn a whole bunch of wood and make our own charcoal, which was, costly in our time. And so the charcoal furnace was just bad. We wanted to get out of doing that as quickly as possible. It wasn't economically beneficial for us to do a whole bunch with charcoal because by the time everything was said and done, our aluminum pieces that should be, a few cents scrap metal prices, we would have to sell for, a significant amount of money. And it also, because of the low heat of it, didn't allow us a ton of room for error. So when we poured, we had to be really, really exact and do everything really, really well because it would cool down almost instantly as soon as we were pulling it out of our fire. So then the next type of furnace that we developed was the electric arc furnace. And we had a small version of that we had been working with and developing for a while, and that has worked really well. We have started to sell aluminum ingots on the imperial market with that because it brought our costs down enough to make it worthwhile for us. We have had David the blacksmith working on aluminum and copper ingots, having that smaller furnace that we gave to him in order to continue developing our industry external to our territory. And since we gave him that, we have been wanting to continue to upgrade. So in giving him that hasn't shut down our work on the metals refining industry. It has in fact boosted it because we have been making way for this large transformer, which is going to be the souped up version of our smaller electric arc furnace that will hopefully be able to melt when we were previously melting maybe a couple ounces of aluminum, very small amounts of aluminum and copper. We will now be hopefully melting in the pounds of aluminum and copper. So it will be very exciting to see develop. Fake name says, uh, we don't see a game. It's a ooh. We don't see as a game. It's a last ditch effort in case diplomacy breaks down. Makes sense, Cusnaria. That makes sense. I So then I am curious though, like because it has to be agreed upon, right? Like it's a last dish effort if uh, if communication breaks down, but that communication still has to be in agreeing to do that. So it's like a gamble. It's a wager that you're making to get your way, I suppose. So it's not a game in the ha jokey fun sense, but it is a competition that is an agreement entered between two nations. And if one nation knows that it is entering a competition in which it will have uh, an unfair disadvantage, it may be not inclined to agree to that. Um, Richard says, AP, are campers acceptable housing in Aeternia? That's a great question, Richard. So we are actually potentially looking at, for the time being, parking an RV out on the land that we have access to in order to provide us bathrooms for the moment, because we have to install our own septic and our own water system. We're going to have a well water system. We're going to have electricity hooked up to the grid, and then as well we're going to start substituting with solar. But digging a well and putting in septic are quite expensive, and we're actually starting to look at quotes for that right now in the area we're developing in. So we really just need something in the meantime until we can save up that money to be able to have a bathroom. And so we're making that effectively our portable bathroom and our portable shelter, to have a little nice bed, a little, place to kind of escape from the elements, and obviously, most importantly, a place to go to the bathroom in a sanitary way. So that's what we're going to be using our RV for at the moment. However, we don't want to park a ton of RVs and campers out there because we want to utilize the land as much as possible. So I would say that definitely depends on circumstance. If that is the case, I would not want it to be for very long. Again, we're going to do it as kind of a special circumstance, I think, to have out there for a little while we are developing the dwellings that we are building. However, we eventually want all of our citizens to live, the ones who will become residents of Aeternia. There are plenty of people who will be citizens of Aeternia but never become residents living on our territory and working there. They'll work outside of Aeternia. But for the people who are coming to live and work in Aeternia as residents, we would certainly not mind for the time being if they were there right now, happy to work, happy to do it. We wouldn't mind having them out there on a camper, but we really wouldn't want that to be for very long. We would want to try and move them into Eternian dwellings as quickly as possible. So that's the main idea. We're hoping to actually build underground dwellings and to utilize not only the top of our land as much as possible, but actually to go underneath it and utilize the fact that we're on a mountain and are able to dig significantly deep to be able to provide adequate shelter and housing to the people who decide to live in Eternia. So to answer your question, yes, but it would be a very temporary thing. We wouldn't mind it, but I would hesitate to have people bring and park their campers there simply because I would not want that to be permanent housing in Eternia. And once somebody brings all their possessions and moves out somewhere, it's really difficult and really unfair to try and tell them, okay, now pack it up and move it out. We don't want this here anymore. So instead of doing that, we want to have a plan ready to go for people to come and stay, and to be able to develop incrementally based on the agreement that we make with them. So, Richard, for example, in your case, if you were saying, "Hey, I have a camper, I'm ready to go, I'm ready to come down right now," hypothetically, what we would want to do is we would want to talk to you about your situation and what you're wanting to do. What kind of funds you have available, what kind of transportation you have available, what your plan is as far as getting an income as you stay here, and then continuing to fit that into the plans that we already have to develop dwellings, to develop our industries, because as of right now, as we talked about earlier in the stream, we don't have the capital to just be able to welcome anybody in, give them a nice paying job, cover all of their bills and expenses. That's not feasible for us right now. We're still trying to get enough funding together to build what we want to build there and to be able to afford to take care of ourselves. So that being the case, a lot of the work that's happening on Aeternia's territory right now, a lot of the resources we're being given are being donated, being gifted, or that we're trading and exchanging for very generous prices. So that being the case, we of course would love to have citizens there, and that's a huge thing that would benefit us. Having people who want to stay on the land, work there, who could make it so much more efficient to develop and develop a lot quicker. We of course want. We just have to make sure that we do that in a way that's fair for anybody who wants to come, and to make sure that we really understand their interests and their abilities before we would do that. So definitely not off the table. Having a camper there, we could absolutely talk about and try and plan in. But I would want to set a real clear timeline for how long the camper would be there, how quickly we could get people moved into an actual Aeternian dwelling and have it finished and have it nice for them, and explain the layout and explain, what we would have available to them, because at like a stage 1 dwelling, because it would be difficult, for example, if a family of 5, 2 parents and 3 children, especially young children, school-age children, all of a sudden say, okay, we're ready to move to Aeternia and we're happy to come and live and happy to come and work, and they have a significant amount of need and a large amount of space that they require to be able to take care of their family, that we wouldn't be able to give right immediately. That's quite an expensive undertaking for us, and while it would absolutely be well worth it to have those people there, it would take us a while to be able to develop that and make it practical and beneficial for them to come and live on the land with us. So that being the case, it's going to take some time, but please, definitely, Richard, if you're interested in that at all, or if you're trying to think about those plans, let's talk about it. Let's continue to try and discuss and figure out what you're wanting to do and what your needs are. That way we can start to incorporate those into our plans. Because even if it doesn't work out, if there's some roadblock we hit and, oh no, Richard can't come, or oh no, we have to do this and that, it still teaches us more about what we need to do to prepare, and it gives us a more realistic timeline for when we can start having citizens become residents and actually live on our land. But that is a great question, Richard. It will be acceptable housing in Aeternia temporarily. Gorth says, unfortunately, Gorth is not capable with agriculture. That makes sense. Nolan says, hello from the Kingdom of Happiness. It's good to see you, Nolan. And that sounds like a wonderful name for a micronation. I would love to see the Kingdom of Happiness. I hope everybody's very happy there. Crafters says, we've got our first non-government business. They are going to produce potatoes and strawberries. Hey, congratulations, Crafters. That's exciting. Let us know how it goes. I would love to see some cool potatoes and strawberries develop, especially potatoes because they last a long time. Strawberries, you'd have to figure out how to sell them pretty quick, but that's exciting. I hope you guys are able to hit up farmers markets and stuff. Francisco says, anyway, AP, I'm gonna go to sleep. Have a good day or night, everyone, and you too, Emperor AP, the national hero of Yaran Nation. Oh my goodness, thank you so much. I'm flattered. And I hope you have a good night, Francisco. I appreciate you for always supporting Aeternia, for being here, and for making the experience of these live streams more enjoyable. Every time you come in, you always put some effort into your comments. You're always thinking about ways for us to enhance and move forward with the ideas that we have. It's always a good information trade. So I'm really fortunate to have you here, and I wish you and Yaran the best of luck. Yara, the best of luck. Retro Films and History says, hey AP, I was just speaking with you. You sure were. It's good to see you. Retro Films and History are actually a part of our Discord. If you guys aren't a part of the Discord, you should check it out. But we were just talking on there. It's good to see you, Retro Films. I forget the exact nature of our conversation. I would go back in the Discord and check it. But as of right now, I don't want to mess up the live stream and close stuff out because I'm on my phone, so I'd have to jump back and forth. But I know we do have some conversations to continue. Nolan says, would Aeternia accept citizens if there was enough land? Yes. So right now we have 3.5 acres, which is enough land for us to house, 2, 3 citizens, but yeah, fairly comfortably. But we would not want to do that until we have the infrastructure built. So it's not even about the size of the land. It's not like, oh, we're all cramped in like a little apartment or something, as would have been the case previously. Now we actually have a decent amount of land. We can develop that to have citizens there, but we have to be able to have full built houses for those people. We can't ask people to just sleep in a tent. We need to have, all the modern amenities that someone would expect when living in an apartment or somewhere else. We need to make sure that they have electricity and water and plumbing and all of the things that they'll need access to be able to function and get jobs and, provide for their families. So we absolutely want to do that. It's more about the infrastructure than the physical space that we're trying to take up. And that brings us back to technology. Technology allows us to make that easier, to be able to build quicker, to be able to build cheaper, and more importantly, to be able to bring in income more quickly for Eternia. Um, Custonaria says, "Oh, for sure, and we would rather keep it from happening. Therefore, Alliance has another plus. Makes sense. So you're saying that that's your model for how you would handle disagreements with other nations, but you're saying you're going to buff yourself to prevent ever actually having to use that, which is an interesting tactic. But I'm curious if that means you will find many, if any, cases where you do need to enter one of those competitions. Sabotat says, hello. Hey, Sabotat, it's good to see you. Fake Meme says, good afternoon, Sabotat. Sabotat says, back to you, Fake. Um, Richard says, I'm going to be modifying a cargo trailer and turning it into a long-term off-grid tiny house. Hey, congratulations, Richard. That's very exciting. Like I said, I'm not sure that would exactly fit in the plans that we have for Eternia. If you ever wanted to like stop by and visit with your off-grid tiny house, that would be really cool. But I feel like we have a very specific plan for how we want to develop stuff on this territory. We really are going with the underground shelter build, so we don't want to encourage people to park stuff on the top of the land because we want to keep as much of it forest as possible. We want to keep as much of it natural as possible on the top. And so we're trying to build as much infrastructure as we can underground. So that is certainly something to think about. If you end up deciding that you would want to come and you start thinking about that more seriously, I would love to figure out a way to incorporate your needs and your interests into that. But regardless, I'm excited to see your tiny house. I have seen YouTube videos of people developing tiny houses and working on that, and it's a really exciting process. You get to see people over like months or years of their lives, like slowly taking their investments and just applying it until they get this thing that they're, becomes a part of them, not just the place that they live, but it's actually a statement on who they are as a person and their ingenuity and their stick-to-itiveness and their ability, the interests that they have, the abilities that they want to gain, the freedoms that they want to express through that house. So, turning something that's like mobile and saying, oh, well, I really wanted to travel, or making it off grid and saying, oh, well, I really wanted to make sure that we're completely self-sufficient, or people who are saying, hey, I really wanted to make sure that it's like small but spacious enough for all of my, family, or hey, I really wanted to make sure that it has enough like sleep for a lot of people, or that it has really nice amenities or whatever. Some of these are like really and really well thought out. So I would be excited to see your concept, Richard, and I can't wait to see the development. Crafter says, my nation is not classed as a micronation anymore. It is more of a movement. We want to make Flanders independent from Belgium and possibly unite uh, for the Netherlands. Hey, very cool. Congratulations, and I hope to see more from your development. I'm curious as to how Flanders will continue to take on the challenges of adapting from being a micronation, which is, seeking its own independence and trying to do so regardless of the connection to macronations, to then saying, well, no, we're actually trying to connect with another macronation and become a larger part of their culture. I'm curious to see what the interplay with that is, how you connect to these macronations, how you uh, pitch your case as being worthwhile for them to take on. So that's something certainly exciting to think about. And I'm excited to see how you develop it. Fake Name says, "Is the land you got going to be the foundation for your capital or capital or palace or something like that?" That's a great question, Canaria. So, um, the um, the basis for it right now, of course, is to make a kind of a capital, I suppose. The thing that's difficult is, as Tiffany and I continue to progress in our careers and in our interests, we may move. So I've always stated that the capital of Aeternia is where the Emperor is. I will be effectively the moving capital. All of the things, because of technology, because of the ability we have in the modern age to deal with a lot of informational hurdles that would come with needing a stationary capital, we can handle quite well with just exchange of information through online resources, as we have with the development of Eternia before we had this territory. So that being the case, the territory that we have right now is going to be primarily used as an economic hub for us, of course, a way to have constant and permanent connection to local communities in Alabama, which is going to be exciting, and as well to be able to provide a place for our citizens to live and develop their lives and their families' lives and their interests. So, 100%, this will be something that is a if not a capital in the truest sense, definitely a stronghold for Eternia. It is going to be a place of great importance in Eternia, but I don't think I'm necessarily trying to build a fancy palace or anything like that there. For myself, I don't think I necessarily want to live in a palace. If I ever lived in a nice house or something like that, I would certainly be appreciative, and I would certainly uh, be excited to live in a little bit of luxury. But I think the most important thing for me right now and for the foreseeable future is really to make something that is sprawling, making something that has a lot of people's support and that takes care of a lot of people. So, what's more interesting to me is to have this place for Eternia be something that can exist regardless of my influence in it. I of course will be the monarch of it, and I of course will be continuing to play an active role in it, hopefully every single day. But the plan for it is to live there and develop there myself for as many years as I can with my family and my friends, and from there to have citizens who are living there and staying there who eventually, if I ever do have to move away from that area, would in fact take over it and become the leadership of that area as we would travel on to expand the rest of our empire. Of course, it may happen in the reverse, where we actually do create more of a stronghold than I think and more of an official capital in this territory, and then we actually have other people going out and purchasing land for us in other places and establishing new territories there. So I'm not sure of exactly which way that'll happen yet, but if I had to imagine, it would be some mix where we may not make this one particular territory right here as our capital. It is 3.5 acres. It is, a decent amount of land, but not a ton of land. So we will have this as our first territory. It will always be a super important territory for us, but we plan much, much larger expansions. So I imagine this will not be my permanent place of residence. And I imagine that as we continue to grow and develop, this will ultimately be taken over by somebody who can become a lord and actually run this territory for us in my name. That I will be in regular contact with, that I will be visiting regularly, and actually spending time at this territory that we have to develop it and to make sure that it's moving forward in its progress as best as possible, and to be able to participate in the culture, to be able to hang out and go to festivals and see people who come to visit and talk to people and know what everybody's interests are as we move forward. But ultimately, I plan more expansion for us. So I will probably be tending to that expansion over the next 20, 30, 40 years of my life, and trying my best um, to see that good people are put into leadership positions in this territory. So, and that they're well compensated to do so. But that's a great name. That's a great question, Casnaria. Crafter says, "What do you mean?" I'm curious to know what you mean, Crafters. Fake name says it's a poem or song from World War One. Oh, okay. Nolan says, reply to Crafters. As an American, micronations aren't possible of being even close to independent due to our messed up government. Molossia is a good example. Well, but I don't think I would argue with you that I don't think Molossia really is concerned with other people's interpretation of their ability or independence. Molossia seems like it is a statement by the founder, President Kevin Ball, to declare themselves independent. So I think he has done what he set out to do. And I think that is his point. You do not see Kevin Ball going to Washington, D.C. and, and lobbying politicians have federal recognition of Molossia. He reached out via correspondence, as many micronations now do following in his footsteps, to tell the U.S. government, hey, we are independent. And then that created a point of connection. And a lot of presidents, since he has done that, have actually sent Christmas cards and taken pictures and stuff and wished them well in their Declaration of Independence. But I think it is more so a situation of they're not really causing the U.S. problems. The U.S. really isn't causing them problems. So they just kind of keep out of each other's business. Molossia isn't really trying to expand. They aren't really trying to, take over territory. They aren't really trying to do anything that could be perceived by the United States as aggressive or infringing in any way. And so it is what it is. Kevin Ball has made that statement and has already achieved, I think, the things that he plans for Molossia. Of course, there will always be greatness to come, but I don't think it is necessarily Kevin Ball's attempt to be seen by everyone in the United States as completely independent, or the world for that matter. I think he has gotten the recognition that he has sought. But that being the case, Aeternia is a little bit different. We do want to continue to expand. We do want to get into lobbying. We do want to get into having representatives of Aeternia actually go and lobby U.S. politicians to promote the idea that Aeternia should be recognized officially as an independent nation. And that we will continue to push for that, hopefully long after I'm dead. So there are different goals and different aspects from that. I would not look at Molossia and say because they have not achieved my standard of recognition that it is an impossible goal. You are looking at one particular set of circumstances for one particular group who has never espoused an interest in having that recognition or meeting your criteria or standards. So I would say they're doing what they want to do. They're doing it very, very well. They should not be expected to be held to that standard. But I would say that does not make it impossible by any stretch of the imagination. Nolan's fake name says, Nolan, the old eagle is going to collapse. Just, oh, goodness. I don't necessarily know about that either. I don't think as micronationalists we should be hoping for or waiting for the collapse of civilization in order to realize our dreams. It is beneficial to us and in fact necessary to us that the macronations that we are inside of are healthy and thriving. And I want to continue to explain that in further videos and talk about that theory a little bit more. But as micronations continue to grow and develop, they need to be in places which can foster that growth and development. And so even if you are opposed to the macronation that you are inside of, and the reason for your independence is to be able to break free from that, you still have a vested interest in that nation's success. Because if the people in that nation are starving to death around you, you're probably not going to be in that great of straits either if you are somebody who still primarily relies and depends on that nation. So I think there's a lot involved. I would say don't expect other micronations to live up to the criteria that you have for success, but also don't see other micronations and what they are doing and say that means that this has already been tried or this is already done and this is possible and this is impossible. Develop on your own. Try your methods. Work hard and learn from others, but always know that you're going to have to carve out your own path. Nobody's going to be able to do that for you. So don't say something's impossible until you yourself have put pedal to the metal, have tried your best to make that work and have found yourself what is true and what isn't for your circumstances. Retro Film says, Emperor AP, what are your thoughts on the type of infrastructure you would have in mind for land being developed, things such as roads, railroads, canals? That's a great question. So, I'm going to continue working on this while Tiffany's away, but we can continue talking. One of the... Uh-oh. Where's the little... Oh, there it is. So one of the most important things to remember about the land that we're developing... Also, thank you guys for the likes. It means a lot. One of the most important things to remember about the land that we are on is that it's 3.5 acres. So it's enough for us to live and to have, like I said, maybe 2 or 3 dwellings for other Aeternian citizens, but we don't want to make it too crowded. We don't want to make it too packed. So we're not going to have 100 people living on that land. It's not feasible. That being the case, it is important that we remember that as Aeternia continues to develop, we're of course going to need infrastructure, just like you bring up. Let me make sure that I acknowledge the person who brought that up. Retro Films and History. It is important that as we continue to develop, we understand what our abilities are and what is reasonable for us to develop as infrastructure. So for example, you mentioned roads, canals, bridges, things like that as infrastructure. Because it's 3.5 acres, we don't need to develop the U.S.'s, highway system, for example. That's not feasible. It's not something that's necessary. For 3.5 acres, a lot of what's going to be developed is going to be things for very small vehicle types, hopefully electric vehicle types, things like electric bikes, things like electric ATVs, stuff like that, that are meant to get equipment small distances around the land. We're going to be shuttling things because, of course, there will be businesses on the land that need to have products and things moved around. There will be, of course, events that take place where we will need to shuttle things back and forth. So 3.5 acres is enough to have some kind of infrastructure. Of course, some little footpaths and things carved to make sure that things can get shuttled back and forth as much as possible. But I think a lot of our infrastructure isn't going to be developed based around transportation because we're going to design most of it to be walked. What we are hoping to do instead is to develop... Hey, Moondust. Y'all were just talking about Moondust. Look at this boy. Look at this sweet old boy. Hello, Mooney. You smell like smoke.
He was out
in the patio? Gotcha. You stinky boy. But talking about infrastructure, just like you brought up, I think the place that we're going to be focusing on infrastructure is actually in developing things like our power grid, trying to make sure that we are as sustainable as possible in an way that is independent for eternity. We're also going to need to provide things that are social services for the people who live there. So, for example, providing an electrical system for us isn't just to provide that for us and for, myself and my family, but also to be able to provide that for our other citizens. So having networks of wires, having, things that are placed underground that are access ports for stuff like that is going to be really, really crucial. On top of that, of course, water is the same way. Of course, plumbing is the same way with sewer and septic. Going beyond that, telecommunications, having our own networks and stuff like that for internet access and for encryption, protecting Aeternian citizens from a lot of the difficulties that can be out there with internet access, with access to basic primary functions that they need in modern society. When you talk about infrastructure and transportation in particular, one of the things that I think is interesting that will be feasible for us is external transportation. So while we, of course, do not have a reasonable amount of land to develop like a train system or something like that, because it's only 3.5 acres, the thing that we can build reasonably is external transportation. The United States, and particularly the area that we are in Alabama, is really, really infamous for having poor public transportation. Everybody just about has to have a car in order to survive and get to work and to live. And so, that being the case, it is very, very difficult for someone to live and work and be productive in Alabama if they don't have that. So a lot of people would greatly benefit from public transportation systems here in Alabama, but because everything has been designed around the highway system and around private roads, it is not something that is heavily invested in. Because it's not heavily invested in, people don't use it, and people don't use it, so it's not heavily invested in, and it's a chicken-egg scenario. But Aeternian citizens deserve better, and we want to attract people to Aeternia by providing better. So what we want to do is to be able to provide for the people who need it, for the people who are interested, a public transportation system. One, because it's more green. It helps the environment for us to not have 30 Aeternian citizens having 30 cars and driving back and forth to jobs in the United States and back every single day. It would be a lot nicer if we had a convenient, readily available, and widely accessible public transportation system that is free to our citizens, where we can say, hey, because you're already paying for your citizenship, because you already have certain things that you have to meet as requirements for that citizenship, and maybe you're even working for us and delivering medals, say, helping us to develop technology in the United States, helping us to advertise and promote Aeternia to people in the United States. You may have to come and go from the United States, and we should provide that kind of infrastructure. So while we may not be building roads and bridges inside of Aeternia, we will be providing infrastructure like that to be able to actually allow better connection for our citizens to reach the United States and to bridge that gap a little bit better. That way, whether somebody's coming to us who is at the top of their game, a multi-millionaire who comes and says, I'm just happy to invest in Aeternia and I want to be here and I think it's a great idea, or someone who's homeless and says, I never had $1 to my name, I don't have a car, I don't have clothes. Both of those people can do well and thrive in Aeternia. That's the only goal. That's a long way to go. Like I said, we are still trying to be able to get enough resources and ability for us to survive ourselves and to be able to pay our bills and to be able to invest properly in what we need to expand. But as time goes on, as we make more money, as we have more regular income coming in, as we can start to hire people to expand and to continue growing, we will eventually get to the point where we can start to provide some of those amenities for our citizens for free. And that will be, I think, the point where we start to reach Aeternian uniqueness. And that's another topic that I would like to talk about in a future video. But the idea that your micronation, and specifically for Aeternia at least, the way that our culture is developed and the purpose for what we are doing is not just to be another nation. We are trying to be a better nation. We are trying to be a nation that provides unique benefits to its citizens that that others can't get in the United States. And so that's the idea. We want to be able to provide those unique opportunities. So public transportation into the United States would certainly be a big one. Again, making sure that all of our people have easy, readily available, and backed up security for things like their water, electric, internet access, stuff like that, is all maintained, upgraded regularly, and supported is all a part of our infrastructure, as I would hope to answer your question. And I hope that does answer your question. If not, please let me know. I would love to elaborate more. Crafter says, yeah we're going to
talk all day.
I can. I absolutely can. I'm really passionate about this. I'm not sure if you can tell. But I do appreciate you asking those questions. It's stuff I have to think through. I can't just, have all of this mapped out and planned out in day one. And I see a lot of micronationalists who do that and end up, falling flat or having to redesign everything because it just doesn't work out the first time you design it. You never think of all the details you're going to need. And a lot of the time, in a year of your development, things will change radically. So the more that you go through this process, as we've learned, the more you change your plans and start to solidify things. Crafter says, we're going to get our first few 18 plus citizens. Hey, congratulations, Crafters. Sabotage says, speaking of agriculture, we have many different farms being set up in a self-sustainable project I am trying to get. Hey, congratulations, Sabotage. That's awesome. Of course, self-sustainable, always important. Of course, being eco-friendly and green, also very important. So I wish you well in that. Fake Name says AP should play more Far Cry and Just Cause. I have seen many people base their Micronations on the dictators in the games. Interesting. That's interesting. I really like Fallout. I have played some Far Cry, but I haven't played a ton of Far Cry. And what was the other one that you said? Just Cause. I have played a little bit of Just Cause. I think my roommate Jonathan, when I was in college, had Just Cause 3, and I loved playing that because you could like swing around, like fly around, and do crazy tricks and stuff, and steal planes and stuff. But I never and blow up crazy stuff. But I never got that hard into the games. I never bought them myself, and to be honest with you, I don't know. I might invest in that one day. If we get like a big gaming community, I might hit it up. But for right now, a lot of what I'm working on is developing Aeternia. This has been my dream for the longest time, and playing stuff online with you guys is always fun. So I regret not being able to do that more, but I also feel like there's a good reason for it now. Tiffany's smiling at Moondust because he's a little baby. He's a baby. That was the famous Moondust everyone was talking about in the comments earlier. But that's a great point. I will say I want to bring up more of that. Actually, King Carminate of Arcovia, a nation that we've become quite familiar with and have talked to on a number of occasions, even had as a guest on a live stream. They were hoping to help us develop a Minecraft server for Aeternia because we've played Minecraft in the past. If you guys want us to play Minecraft more and hit that up, let me know because we can
Minecraft?
now that it's the summer, Tiff and I can play some Minecraft.
Well, more heavily on the weekends.
Yes.
Because if I get this job,
Yes.
I'll be
Busy.
busy.
Yes. Sometimes Minecraft. Occasional Minecraft surprises. But just let us know. Let us know what you guys want to see. Sabotage said, what is Tiff creating in the background? Yes, so that's the whole point of the stream. We were talking about technology upgrades.
Not necessarily creating, but taking apart.
Yes. Disassembling. So this is a three-phase transformer. It's a large three-phase transformer. This thing is hundreds of pounds. It's quite a thick boy. This is all steel sheets, laminated steel sheets, and of course 3 huge copper coils right here. Again, a three-phase transformer, and what we are doing is we're taking this thing apart so that we can rewind the coils in the way that we need to be able to create a larger electric arc furnace. I'll give you a great example. So the electric arc furnace that we had previously, that we have been selling our aluminum ingots on the Imperial market with, that we actually gave to David, our blacksmith, to be able to start creating more ingots and more stuff for us. We actually ended up, yes, we actually ended up giving that to David so that he could create ingots for us. And that being the case, that arc furnace had transformers that were about this size on it. So if you can think about this size of transformer, let me show to scale, versus this massive behemoth of a transformer, we're going to be going from being able to create, a few ounces of aluminum or copper at a time to pounds of aluminum and copper at a time. So that's the point of this. What Tiffany is making in the background right there is actually disassembling that transformer so that we can reassemble it in the way that we need to be able to have a nice, oh goodness, I'm not able to keep my camera up. Sorry, guys.
Cameraman.
Right? The cameraman's constantly flawing. Yeah, so that's what she's creating here in the background. We are disassembling this large 3-phase electrical transformer to be able to rewind it.
It's not attached. It's just in the pipe.
You sure?
I'm
It's
sure.
down there.
I know.
Got it. So we're pulling out these laminated steel sheets to be able to rewind it in the way that we need to. Take these coils off, actually. Undoing these steel sheets will allow us to slide these coils off. Once we slide these coils off, we should be able to move forward with actually assembling this whole transformer with the proper coils that we need to make our huge electric arc furnace. Okay, hold up. Multiple things. Fake Name says, I might join the Discord if you will have me, of course. Absolutely. I need to put a link in the description of this video because I haven't, but if you check out previous videos and links in the description, there should be some for that as well. I'm sure somebody can provide you with one, potentially in the comments. If you guys can throw a link in the comments, if links are allowed in the comments, let me know and we can definitely get you set up with that. But yes, we would love to have you in the Discord. We have, I think, hit like 300 people recently. Like 300 or 400 people are in the Discord right now. So thank you to everybody who has been a part of it. Of course, we don't have all those people active all the time, but it's nice to see that we have at least a fairly regular community. When we had even up to like 100 or 150 people, there would sometimes be weeks where we wouldn't have any interaction in the Discord. And now almost every single day there is somebody talking about something, some conversation going on. So I appreciate you guys making such a vibrant community. Crafters, so saw a video once of people who bought a plot of land and made a village on it. Absolutely. And that's kind of the idea that we're going for, right? We want to have people who are living and working in Aeternia. We want to have people who are interested in developing in the way that we are. And who want to be able to provide a better life for their families through that. So we absolutely do want to start to develop in a village, absolutely. Matt says, hi. Hey, Matt, it's good to see you. Richard said, hey, Matt. Elijah Wood says, hello, AP. Hey, Elijah, how are you? President Benjamin of Beliga says, hello. Hello, President Benjamin. It's good to see you. And a representative of Beliga here, as always. And again, thank you guys for liking the video. It helps a lot. Richard said, greetings, Elijah. Hey, Richard always being the wonderful, warm, and welcoming host that we have there in the comments, as always. Thank you, Richard. Drew says, the Bud Light is warrior. Oh, goodness. Yeah, absolutely. So, Tiffany's family has two different Bud Light posters, one of which is like a guy. It's like a football outfit.
One's Bud Light and one's Budweiser.
That's true. My apologies. But same overall company. One is Bud Light, and he's like a football player guy. It's like the shape of a football
It's like
costume.
beer cans have been taken apart to form him.
Yes, he looks almost like the like NFL robot guy to me. And then they have like a Budweiser NASCAR racing guy. So there's a couple things going on, but I moved that one out of the way. We still have the background product placement, but it's not on purpose. Drew said English is yes. Of course. Fake Name says, I'm back. My old man was teaching my brother how to properly hold a pistol. My brother flagged me 2 or 3 times. Oh, goodness. He flagged you. What do you mean by he flagged you? Also, I'm glad that they were teaching some valuable life skills. I hope it was some quality bonding time. Aiden says, hi, what's this for? That's a great question, Aiden. It's good to see you. Today, as you can see behind me, Tiff is working on removing all of the laminated steel sheets that are in the core of this transformer. This is a huge 3-phase transformer that we are taking apart so that we can remove the windings and replace with our own windings so we can make a gigantic electric arc furnace that will upgrade our output of metals refining from a few ounces of metal at a time to pounds of metal at a time. So I am excited for it. Fake Name says tech. Yes, and that brings us to the topic of technology. We're talking about upgrading technology in Micronations and why Micronations need technology, what's so important about it, and ultimately what that means for the development of your micronation and for the path that you need to develop for your circumstances in order to have your nation thrive. And technology is, of course, not one of the main things. It's not like number one, but it is a very important part of the process of advancing and developing your micronation. A lot of time we talk about stagnation in micronations and, micronations that slow down and die over time. And we have to look at why that is. I think one of the big factors at play is technology. how much ability you have to actually take the resources you have and turn it into an improvement. And whether that's technologically, whether that's economically, those things can go hand in hand in a really, really vital way. So right now we're talking about technology and its importance, as we are, of course, upgrading our technology from an arc furnace that was about this big in the transformer size that it had to this giant behemoth of a transformer, hundreds of pounds transformer that will give us a many, many times improved output for our metals refining industry, our Aeternia metals refining industry. If you want to learn more about our metals refining industry, you can check out the video that we did with our smaller electric arc furnace. We have several actually. One on the arc furnace itself, and then another one on the entire metals refining industry, and actually teaching David the blacksmith, how to use the electric arc furnace and actually giving him the title of head blacksmith here in Aeternia. So that being the case, we are still actively developing, still moving forward, and we give him our smaller transformer and our smaller electric arc furnace. That way he can continue our metals refining industry for us during the time being. He has already created some ingots that you can check out on our Instagram. But we are taking the home base of the metals refining industry and actually trying to upgrade it so that we have David producing what we would normally have been producing previously, and then multiplying that by a large factor to not only continue to have the output that we've been having, but being able to multiply that over time. So this is the embodiment of technological development for Micronations and upgrading technology for Micronations that we're doing in the process. So while we're doing this, while we're actively developing our own technology, I thought I would talk to you all about the importance of that and showing you this process live so that you can get a feel for what that means for us as a culture and as a people, and also that you can see for yourself how you might be able to find avenues to pursue your own goals in a similar way. You don't need to be doing electric furnaces and all that kind of stuff, but there are small things that you can do in seeing your own vision for how you want to develop and tweaking the things that you need to improve with it. Many times that will come at some technological cost. And instead of going out and buying things at the store, which may be very, very expensive, you can learn how to develop these things on your own using science and technology to be able to make small improvements for yourself. Of course, nothing is free. Something's going to cost your time, your labor, your efforts, and many times some of your money, but you can certainly reduce the cost a lot the more you know. TJ says, I love the Bud Light statue. Thank you so much. Of course, he's our mascot today. It wasn't on purpose, but he is definitely here. Also, thank you guys for liking the video. We've had a lot of people jump in, and we're at 14 likes right now. If we could get to 20, I would flip. Because
I'd love to see you flip. Do a flip.
I'm gonna try. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Ow. I kind of did it. I hurt my shoulder a little bit, but it's the things I do for love, the things I do for Tiff. If you want to see me attempt to flip again, get it all the way to that solid 20 mark. We're 5 away, but Tiffany's saying my pants are falling down. Yeah, I appreciate it. We've been gone for 3 weeks without me being able to make a solid live stream because I was finishing up my degree, trying to get through my graduation, and now I finally have. So in addition to applying for grad school and looking for jobs, I can start to focus on Aeternia more and start to build back up our live streams and get some regular content out to you guys. So the more that we keep doing, the more that we keep showing you guys, I hope you will support us and continue to push the Aeternian dream forward every day with us. We want to hit our 4,000 watch time hours this summer and become monetized. So the more that you guys hang out on these live streams and the more that you can tell us what kind of content you're excited about, the more that we can put into that and kind of plan things for you all so that we can hit those goals. I'm already working on, and Tiff has been helping me out a ton with, along with all of the other things Tiff has been helping me out with. Oh, you got it. One of the things...
That's why I wanted to go to this side.
Yeah, you want me to start working on this side?
I don't think that side's going to help to get these out there. I think if we go to this side, it'll loosen up more over here. But it's also the fact that this is getting thicker,
Yeah.
and so you're harder
Yeah.
to try to get in between.
I think that's smart. The only thing I'm thinking of, as we continue to do this, I mean, go that way as much as you want to, but once we start to get a good, decent way through, we should
Yeah, we
probably
can
start to
start
do
pulling
these,
these
and
out.
then, yeah, but we gotta loosen these up to do it.
Okay, turn it around.
Cool. Alright,
Come
so
on,
we're
show me
shifting.
how strong you are.
Yeah! Yeah! It's not really that crazy to slide it on the carpet, but
Dude! Yeah, but you're pulling everything with it.
I am. I'm like twisting it up.
Ready?
Are we trying to lift it? Or are we gonna... Oh goodness, this is gonna be gross. So this thing is like at least 200 pounds, maybe more. This thing is heavy, and so we are trying to move this like sharp metal object to try and turn it around so that we can get some more pieces worked on. Okay, so as you guys can see, these are all the places that we have taken plates off thus far. This is what it looks like normally. Oh, did you lose your...
The blade is missing.
Okay, hold on. Is it twisted up in here? Oh, it's right there. It's right there.
It's mixed in with the towel. Okay.
There you go.
Cool.
We got it.
Cool. We got our tiny little blade.
Yes.
Do
So,
not want to lose that.
as Tiffany has been making great progress, you can see here, these are all the places where we have actually removed plates like these, which actually fit in between and kind of seal this up and make it look like this part right here. So as we continue to pull off plates, we're slowly taking apart this core of this transformer so that we can slide these big windings off and rewind them. And it allows us to save all this copper in there.
This side looks a lot cleaner. I know it's not. It just has all that gunk still on it. But that side looks dirty now.
It does, yeah. But yeah, so that being the case, the more you guys can let us know what kind of content you want, the more that we can continue to show you guys what we're up to and make progress. Hopefully we can hit and smash through those 4,000 watch time hours. That way everything we do from then on the channel gets us at least a small amount of money. We have been trying to push for that, and I think right now we're maybe at like 3,200 watch time hours or 3,100 watch time hours or something. So all we need is a few hundred more, like 800 or 900 more watch time hours, and we got it. You guys, 6, 7 people watch for a couple hours. That helps us. It really does. We're at an hour and 12 minutes right now. We got... Absolutely. I was going to say that as well. A lot of it is people who are dedicated and who have been here and watched like almost every stream and who hit us up for like a long time during the stream. Richard's one of those people who will stay and watch a live stream with us for 2-3 hours. The same thing with a lot of you guys. There's a core group who are really helping our watch time, and then I hope to grow that as much as possible, and I hope to really make content that you all feel worthy, feel is worthy of your time and attention for a long period of time. So definitely let us know, because we want to make sure that we hit those 4,000 and shoot past it. We're almost to 2,000 subscribers as well. We're at 1,740 I think right now. And so if we can get to, or we're about to hit 1,740, we may be at like 1,737 or something like that. If we can hit 2,000 this summer, if we can go past 4,000 watch time hours, we will be in good shape to continue moving forward toward our goals, and especially to make progress like this so much easier, because we can spend a little bit of money. Hey, Victor Von Doom, hits up. I remember us talking previously. It's good to see you, Mr. Von Doom. And also, I am excited to continue our discussions. I hope to reach out to you through Facebook in the next day or two, since I have officially finished my graduation. So I'm excited to learn more about what your nation is up to. It was wonderful to talk to yourself and to be able to learn more about your nation. So hopefully we can continue those conversations pretty soon. Victor Von Doom said, technology is the heart of most long-term civilizations. We micronations need to get off the macro grid and build our own grid. I definitely respect that, and I think it's a hard proposition for a lot of people. That costs a lot of time, that costs a lot of money, and it takes a certain amount of technical knowledge. So I hope that Aeternia, in some extent, can provide some of that technical knowledge and can help to bridge the gap to make that easier for people. I wholeheartedly agree. There are a lot of micronationalists who see micronationalism and, things like self-sufficiency, things like, off-grid lifestyles and stuff like that as synonymous. And I think as we continue on into the future of this world of humanity, it's going to be harder and harder to do that because um, we're running out of space, right? The planet's only so big. Our space colonization abilities right now are only so limited. And there are so many people on this planet, and we are continuing to expand our population by many factors every single year. So, that being the case, as we continue to grow and as we continue to expand as a species, all of our real estate becomes more expensive. Everything becomes more crowded. And so you can't really have an off grid or outside of society lifestyle very much anymore. And that's dwindling away. Even the little bits that we have left are dwindling away very quickly. So I don't think that's necessarily something to rage against or to fight back against. But I think it's important to make reasonable accommodations for people who want to develop a lifestyle that is outside of that and to be able to create something that's different so that there are multiple options for people to pick from instead of being stuck with whatever is local to them. Continuing, Fake Name says, Victor Von Doom, you're damn right. Victor said, refreshing to see a micronation not just talking tech, but doing it. Congratulations for your academic conquest. Thank you so much. Victor says, what is Tiffany's academic background? A lot better than mine. I'll tell you that much. So I graduated with a bachelor's of physics as of a few days ago. Tiffany is currently working on her master's in mechanical engineering, specifying in robotics. So she's already gotten her bachelor's of mechanical engineering as of a year ago. And so now she is in the middle of her master's degree in about another year. A year left to finish her master's degree, already getting jobs lined up in the industry, and hopefully soon to pursue, if she decides to, she's still trying to figure that out, but if she wants to, pursuing a PhD as well. I am as well hoping to pursue a master's and PhD in physics. So we are set. We are going after it. I have a background in electrical engineering and developing that sort of stuff. That's the projects that I've worked on primarily through my undergraduate degree in physics, was working as an electrical engineer. And Tiffany now is getting into a lot of electrical engineering with her focus in robotics as well. So we are killing the game, so to speak. Retro says, going to our conversation on infrastructure, have you thought about using water wheels if the property has any streams or creeks for generating power or powering factories for manufacturing?
Thought about water wheels, but then your $4.99 you came up with.
Absolutely. So I don't want to reveal too much of that just yet, but Tiffany is alluding to something that will be very, very important probably in the next several months. Yes, water wheels are very, very important and are very, very beneficial. They are, in fact, as of right now, one of the only methods of hydroelectric generation, generating electricity from water power. However, as it turns out, they are not the only method of generating electricity from water power. The land that we have, the 3.5 acres, is on a slight slope. So we have water runoff from the rest of a mountain that we are on the side of that actually flows down through our land and actually cuts through it and carves little natural streams. So we certainly can put some very small water wheels for when floodwaters come down the mountain to be able to generate some small amounts of electricity. But for our particular purposes, because we don't have huge, constantly flowing rivers or creeks on the land, there is a more beneficial method for us to create hydroelectric generation that was actually the topic of my senior research project to get my degree. So I've been researching this fairly new technology for the last year, the last 6 months or so, and I have been incredibly excited. What's up?
You're changing it. The fishes get bigger.
That's true. That's true.
A year, 6 months.
6
well,
months.
I guess
It's getting small. It's getting more accurate. 2 months, 3 seconds.
Definitely 6 months. Well, maybe more like 5 months.
Yeah. 5 months, a semester. I have been researching this for about a semester. I've been doing actual data collection on a new method of hydroelectric generation. This isn't me like inventing the method of hydroelectric generation. It's something by people who have been working on it for a lot longer than me and are a lot smarter than me. But I have been following in their footsteps, trying to learn more about this method of hydroelectric generation, and I think it will be better suited for our purposes. So I am excited to put that forward, as well as hydroelectric water wheels, as well as solar panels, as well as wind turbines. We have a lot of stuff that we are gearing up for. So we plan for our community to be hooked up to the power grid just in case we have any issues, but we're as well going to be hopefully self-sustaining with our electrical ability, and even being able to provide electrical power to the grid during peak times to actually make money from that. So that's the hope. TJ says yes, more Minecraft. Absolutely. If you guys are hyped about Minecraft, let us know, and we will be hitting it up. Richard says, Tiffany, be like, work or move out of the way. Fair enough. Fair enough. She has been being really quick with removing these plates, so she's getting it. I want to see if I can assist. Maybe I can find another little blade. We're using like a. Let me grab it. We are using a box cutter, right? But we broke the tip off of the box cutter.
No, we.
I broke the tip off of the box cutter. I'm trying to rope Tiffany into all my problems.
In here when you did it.
She wasn't. It was just me. It was all me. You guys should throw me in jail. I broke the box cutter, and so Tiffany's father and I the other day were attempting to start this, and I immediately snapped the blade off the box cutter. So, like a trooper, Tiffany has been using the blade of the box cutter, which is what I started working on, to try to carve out some of these insulated plates. And actually, she has developed an improved method, like the wonderful engineer that she is, because I was just like scraping against the thing and trying to use anything that I could. She takes like a hammer, places it in, taps it in, and then opens it and pries it apart. She's got this down to a science, and we're moving pretty quick with it now. So yes, 100%. Richard, Tiffany is the lead engineer on this project as always, and she is absolutely making strides, and I just attempt not to slow her down. Elijah says, have you heard of a sand point well? It would be a good way for you to get water on the property. So one of the things that's interesting about Alabama is I have looked into many types of like hand dug wells and self DIY dug wells. Two big problems. The first one, because we're on the side of a mountain, our the water table on the mountain is very, very deep down. So it's very hard for us to hand drill a well and make it successful for us and to be able to pump a significant amount of water. The second thing is that in the state of Alabama, it is illegal to drill your own well. You have to be licensed by the state you have to be licensed by the state to actually drill a well in the state of Alabama. You have to be a company, and you have to hire a company to drill your well and to put your septic in. So we cannot do any of that ourselves, even if we want to. We certainly have the means and resources to do so, but legally we are not allowed. So we're going to do it the right way. We're going to do it on the books, and we are going to hire professionals to drill our well and put our septic tanks in. But in the meantime, we do have methods of rainwater collection and stuff like that we're going to be looking into for a short time until we can save up the money to get a nice professional well dug. But we're already looking at quotes for getting the well. So it should be a process that moves along within the next 6-8 months, something like that, hopefully. Fake Name says, guess what fan cools I've started making my own romance. Guess what fan cools? I've started making my own romance language for Consteria. Hey, very cool. Is it Latin based, like English, Spanish, French? Nabek says, hello, Emperor AP. Hey, Nabek, it's good to see you. I was wondering if you were going to jump in. It's been a minute. As well, we have 18. We're 2 away from 20 likes. We are 2 away. I appreciate you guys jumping in. If you do that, I will attempt a flip one more time. I attempted a flip earlier because Tiff said she would love to see me flip. And so, if you guys can get it past that 20, immediately hits 20. Okay, appreciate you guys. I got to attempt it now. Oh, I got 21. Okay, y'all are killing me. Tiffany's trying to help me so my pants don't fall down and I don't embarrass myself in the middle of this stream.
I already did it.
Already did it. That's true. Not embarrass myself further in the middle of this stream. But let me see if I can parkour roll my way. No, that's not a legitimate. You gotta do it honestly. Okay, I flipped because you guys hit us to that 21 likes. Thank you guys so much. 10 viewers, 21 likes. As I said, we're 22 likes. I see you out there. Last person that liked. I appreciate you. I want you to know. 22nd person who liked. Favorite person on the stream so far. I appreciate it.
Oh man, that's so mean to the rest of them who got you to 20.
That's true. It couldn't have happened without everybody along the way, but they did clear the top. If there's a 23 though, I can't say they're my new favorite person. I gotta distribute it equally.
Quit saying your favorites.
No favorites. Nobody. Tiffany's right. There's no favorites. Nobody's favorite. You're all special in my heart. I appreciate you. Moving forward from my lapse in judgment. We do have 10 viewers. I am trying to get us that 4,000 watch time hours we've been striving for since the beginning of this channel. I plan to hit it this summer. We're at like 3,200 watch time hours. We only need like 800 more watch time hours. And so I want to make sure that you guys tell me, whether in the Discord, whether in the YouTube comments, whether wherever, Twitter, Instagram, we're on all these platforms. Hit us up, even a Reddit. We have Aeternia, r/AeterniaGov is our Reddit if you haven't checked it out. Let us know what kind of content you want, because this summer we're going to be bringing the heat, talking about and showing you our land purchase developments and what we've been doing on the land. We're going to be showing you technology upgrades like this to improve our arc furnace, to improve the electricity generation.
There's two there.
Got you. This is what we do to that. We karate. Nope, this is one.
There's two. Look at the edges.
Oh, ooh, you're right. Can I see the razor? Please. Please, can I see the razor?
Are you careful?
No.
It's
but
on you.
I appreciate it. But we are trying to develop more of the tailored content.
Up top, not at the corner. It's gonna slide so easy.
We're trying to develop all the tailored content that you guys know and love. And so, if you can tell us what content you like, we will bring the fires so that you guys can come and hang out with us for longer periods of time on the stream. That's what ultimately does it. You know, having some edited videos is nice. Having the higher view numbers from edited videos is always nice. But ultimately, the thing that always carries us into those large watch time hours is when you guys hang out and we have 10, 12, 15 people stream, all hanging out, all spending time with each other, all talking about micronationalism. That's when we all of a sudden have like 30, 40 watch time hours in a stream that comes off. And so it really becomes, I don't think we've ever had 40 watch time hours, but we've probably had, there you go. We've probably had, I think we've had 20 watch time hours in a stream before. Probably like 20 or 22 watch time hours. That's something that... Thank you.
Thank you.
Of course. That is something that we're continuing to try and strive for every single day. So the more you guys hang out in the live streams with us, the more that you watch us continuing to upgrade our technology and putting our word to... our actions to our words, making things happen. You are helping us to actively achieve monetization, which means that we will make a little bit of money off of this channel. Because right now people run ads on our videos and we don't make any money from that. So getting to have a little bit of ad revenue and a little bit of partnership with YouTube will unlock more benefits for our channel, of course, but it will also allow us to make a little bit of money, which will help us to make better content for you guys, hopefully help us to eventually hire an editor, which means that we can get a lot more edited content out to you guys, because we record a ton of stuff, but it takes so long for us to sit down and edit a video from hours and hours of footage that it's almost unreasonable for us to do it. It's more it's more commonplace for us to just make live streams. But once we get that 4,000 watch time hours and we can start making a little bit of money, we should be able to come out with more edited content more easily. So if you guys are the big edited content people, please check us out and please hang out in some of the streams if you can. just so that we can help to get that 4,000 up. What are you up to, Navik? As well, Casnaria, it's good to see you all. Flagging means he pointed it in my direction. Oh, goodness. I am very sorry to hear that. Tell your brother, please do not point guns in anyone's direction. Tiberius Storm says, hello, my friend. Hey, Tiberius, it's great to see you. How is your nation? How is your developments? I remember, oh, goodness, last time we talked, we were talking about... I think our last conversation was on Discord, wasn't it, Tiberius? We were talking about something on Discord. Were we talking about... We weren't talking about trade agreements. There was a conversation that we have actively going on Discord. I remember that. Please hit me up. I am enjoying our conversation. Elijah says, hello, Navik. Navik says, it's been a while since I've been able to make it to a live. I'm glad I was able to make it while live. Agreed. I appreciate it. Right now we're taking apart this transformer so we can rewind it and make a huge electric arc furnace.
As well, we did one yesterday.
That's true. For all you guys who were wondering about the one yesterday, we put out a live stream showing some of our land development, some of the, the structure that we're building out there. I want to put out a nice edited video for you guys on that, on the first month of progress on the land. I have all that footage that we're actively editing, that Tiffany's actually been helping me to edit, because it's just so much. But that being the case, and honestly, I get out of breath editing. It's tedious to me, but I enjoy it. I don't enjoy editing. I enjoy trying to get edited content out to you guys. So that being the case, I really I want to be able to put out those little snippet live streams for you guys. So we tried one yesterday, but we ended up in a situation where we somehow ended up posting it as unlisted.
AP didn't tell me the settings.
That's true.
I asked. I was like, what do I need to do to the settings?
That's true.
He said nothing, so then I just went.
Normally, the live streams, when you set it up, immediately go to public, but for some reason it was set to unlisted, and I didn't realize that. So when we went to create the video, we recorded it, and we kept noticing during the entire live stream we had 0 viewers, and I was like, oh, I guess we just hit people at the wrong time. It was like 3 o'clock. I was like, maybe everybody's at work and at school and stuff, and that we really just hit it at the wrong time. But I waited for a while, and after like 4 hours after we posted the stream, I was like, there's still 0 views. That's wild. Like, not even one person has checked out this video. We had it unlisted, so now we don't have it unlisted. I think it maybe has like 30 views or something right now. If you guys want to check that out, it would mean a lot to me after this live stream, of course, because we have been making some progress on the land. So if you want to know about what we've been up to, if you want to see me digging in the mud, slapping some mud on the walls of our effectively like semi-log cabin out there, definitely check it out, because we have been doing some stuff, and we hope to show you that and more in an edited video coming up soon. So thanks for hanging out in this live stream. Of course, go check out that other one at some point when you get a chance, and we will have the full edited video out soon. Tiberius says, long live Aeternia and be safe. Gotta go. Hey, good to see you, Tiberius. Thanks for hanging out. Nalek says, hello, Elijah. TJ says, you remind me from the movie Leap. What's the movie Leap? Have you seen Leap? This is... Oh, goodness. I bumped the camera. God, sorry about that. I was going to say, this is unfamiliar culture to the Empire of Aeternia. You will have to inform us about this Leap movie you speak of. I'm not really sure what Leap is. I haven't seen it, but please hit me up. I would love to learn about it, especially if I can take some wisdom from it, if it's a similar vibe. Beliga says, Aeternia is most likely in the top 20-30 nations in terms of content that Beliga watches. Hey, thank you so much. That means a lot. There are a lot of micronations out there doing a lot of stuff, so us trying to push for those like top numbers is difficult. We have a very small amount of people. we don't have a ton of allies. We have a lot of support from people like you. We have, of course, a lot of nations who we contact and that we reach out to, but because of our location, because of everything we've been doing, and because of our lack of time and ability to put toward Aeternia at one point, it's been a struggle. So there are a lot of nations making a lot of cool content out there, and I am just fortunate that we are here. We're continuing to make progress every day. We're continuing to grow, but excuse me, as we continue having support like yours, learning about what other micronations actually want to see on this platform and on the rest of the platforms we're on will allow us to get better. So, like I said, I just graduated. I'm getting a job. I'm applying for grad school, but in the meantime, I want to push Aeternia. I want this to be the best summer we have had in the 3 years that we've been on YouTube. Every single summer has been our big push and our big stride forward. Last summer, we hit 1,000 subscribers. The summer before that, we got our first few citizens and started the Etsy. Before that, we started the Patreon and started the channel. So this is huge for us. We can make this a huge push now that we have our land, now that we have some citizens interested in coming, now that we have the potential to monetize the channel. We can do stuff Micronations haven't even thought of yet. We can get it. Just let us know. Let us know what you want to see. We're going to start working toward it. KB's blog says, evening, sir. Evening, KB. I hope you're doing well. Also, if you're a vlog channel, can you tell us about vlog channeling? I try to do some vlogs, like I was talking about earlier on the stream. I do some edited videos. We're trying to put out more, of course, with our land purchase that we've been working on now. And I really want to learn more about that style of editing, that style of storytelling, because it's an art. I've seen a lot of people put a lot of time and effort into it. I've tried to study some YouTube videos that say, this is how you make a successful vlog channel, and this is how you do this and that, but it's always difficult. So from a vlogger, please, if you can at some point, reach out to us at eternianempire@gmail.com. Hit me up on our Discord, on our Twitter, our YouTube, wherever you can in the comments. Let us know what it is for you that makes vlogs enjoyable, that makes your audience excited to watch your vlogs. Hit us up. Elijah Wood says, message retracted. What's your I guess, what's your style? What's your format? What's your tactic for doing vlogs? Eastlandia says, hello. Hello, Eastlandia. It's good to see you. Eastlandia says, so what is this exactly? I will explain to the great nation of Eastlandia what we're up to. So, you can see this. This is a huge 3-phase transfer. We have an industry in Aeternia, a way that we make money, called a metal refining industry. What we do is we take, basically recycling. We take scrap metal and we melt it down, generally aluminum or copper, and we make it into little ingots that we've been selling on our Etsy. At the Imperial Market on Etsy. You can check it out via our website, via just looking up Aeternian Empire or the Imperial Market on Etsy. And so we used to have, and actually it's in the possession of our blacksmith David, one of our citizens, an electric arc furnace with transformers that were about this size. And so with that, we can make, a few ounces of metal at a time, something maybe this big or so. And maybe about that thick. We can make small amounts of metal, of just about any type of metal, because the electric arc furnace can get really hot. That's what we had previously. Now we are upgrading our technology and making it bigger and better. So while David has our previous electric arc furnace is about this size, we are upgrading to one that's, maybe 10 or 50, not literally 10 or 50, maybe
3 to 4.
More than 3 to 4, because those other transformers are pretty small.
Right, because
maybe 10 times the size. I'd say probably like 9 or 10 times the size of the previous one. This thing is huge. It is a 3-phase transformer. It's a big, powerful electrical transformer. And what we're doing is we are modifying. So we're actually going to be taking off all of this inner core here, taking that apart, as you can see Tiffany's doing right now by taking out these steel laminated sheets from the core. we're going to remove all of these so that we can remove these big windings, and then we are going to replace those windings with our own windings so that we can wire it properly to run our large-scale electrical arc furnace. That's going to allow us to upgrade from creating, small several ounces of metal at a time to pounds of metal at a time. So we're really trying to upgrade our industry. We're trying to improve the technology of Aeternia, and we're trying to make Aeternia something that is able to compete at a larger scale with industry, and of course with the macronational industries that are creating and thriving in that business. So we want to be competitive. We want to be able to get our price point as close to our competitors as possible, and so we need to upgrade. And that's what we're doing right now. So in addition to David actually continuing our metal melting industry and our metal refining industry as we speak, we are taking that time to upgrade and to advance our output. If you have any questions, let me know, Eastlandia. I hope that helped explain it. If not, please let me know. Please ask more questions, and I will continue to describe. Also, thank you guys for liking. We're almost at 25 likes. If we get to 30, that would be wild, because we already hit 20, and I did a flip. I did a roll, like I said I would. So now, if we hit 25, we hit 30, we got to figure out something for me to do at 30.
We were all really expecting a front flip or a back flip or something, and you just went for
a roll.
Yeah, there's a name for it though.
A tumble.
Yeah,
a tumble. I did a little tumble. So yeah, Tiffany's saying I'm weak sauce. So if you guys want to see some more extremeness, if y'all want to see me do something absolutely crazy and severely injure myself live on
to upload the unbloopered AP throwing a stick and missing it and not realizing it.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I will do that. So the part of the future edited footage we're supposed to send out about the land. Anyway, I want to save it for then. But effectively, I was trying to do a cool trick with a stick, and I was doing it, and then I messed up, and I threw it back behind me. It's a solid blooper. If we hit that 30 likes, I will definitely drop that. I'll probably drop it anyway, but let's see. 30 views and I'll drop it soon. Let me know. 30 likes and I'll be dropping that thing.
Drop it as a short.
I will. I'll drop it as a short tonight. Retro and I'll put the audio behind it. Max says hello. Hey Max, how you doing? I haven't seen you in the streams in a minute, so it's good that you're hanging out. It's been 3 weeks since we've really been able to stream, except for yesterday's stream, so go check out that one. But I appreciate you jumping in. I hope you're doing well tonight. Retro Film says, I would be interested to see this other method for making power. Also, since I live sort of far away, is there any sort of manufacturing I can do? I'm able to do sewing and woodworking to help. Yes.
Ooh, woodwork.
Yes, absolutely. Retro, so we talked, I have talked a little bit on the channel previously about what we do. So we have the Imperial Market, which is our Etsy shop, and we sell handmade items. Everything that we do in Aeternia is handmade. So we may purchase some of the materials that we use to make our products, but the final end results of all the things we have, whether it's our Imperial Notes, whether it's our Unity Metal, whether it's our Owl's Mark, any of the stuff that you see on our Etsy, we hand make, we hand design, we create that ourselves. So we're really passionate about making Aeternian unique products. So you having those awesome skills is a huge benefit for us. I know you said you live far away, but if we can find some way for you to create those handmade items, if you can show us some of your sewing skills, if you can show us some of your woodworking skills, both of those things are huge benefits for us because we can put your stuff on our Etsy. We can sell it, and then we can hit you up and say, hey, you got a sale. We listed your item on Etsy. You got a sale. So now that you got a sale, we're going to send you the information for you to send out your the order, and then you take we'll send you whatever percentage we agree upon for your cut of that thing. We'll take a small percentage for hosting it, and then other than that, you get the rest, and you pocket it as profit. So we will definitely talk about that. If that's something that you're seriously interested in, if you feel like you can, take orders in, actually, get information, go to your post office, ship it out, and have that delivered to people, we can have that set up easily. And that's something that we've been trying to get going in Aeternia for a while. Of course, we do it ourselves. We now have David, our blacksmith, helping us out with creating more stuff so that we can end up doing that. But we have not yet had somebody who's outside of our local area to be able to work on our Imperial market like we have planned and like the market is designed to do. So, absolutely, if you are interested in doing something like that, we can 100% have you not only be able to provide us a ton of benefit from that and increase the amount that we can offer to everybody on our site, but also potentially help you to make a little bit of money and make it worth your time and effort as well. So let's talk about that sincerely. You're already on our Discord. Please hit us up on Discord. We will continue to talk tonight about that even. Okay. Big Name says, yes, it's Latin based. Oh, very cool. The Kingdom of Adam says, there you go. Hey, absolutely. I appreciate it. We're trying to get it. Hey, and we're almost to 25. We're one like away from 25 likes, 6 likes away from 30. At that 30 likes, I will drop the short. Not instantly, but later tonight. I'll drop a short of me failing and doing a weird throw of a stick. It was a whole thing. This, to answer your question, Kingdom of Adam, is a 3-phase electrical transformer. It's a big boy. And what we're doing is we are going to remove this inner core, remove these windings, rewind these windings, so that we can make a huge electrical arc furnace with it. We already had an electrical arc furnace, which is the basis for our metals refining industry. Our metals you can purchase on the Imperial market. It had a transformer about like this. Right now, that is in the hands of David the blacksmith, our resident head blacksmith. And he is continuing our metals refining industry for us at this scale, making, a few ounces of metal at a time. Whereas we are upgrading now to this huge electrical arc furnace that will be able to create pounds of metal at a time. So we're making progress and we are
I don't think you have nearly as much excitement as you should in that.
Pounds of metal at a time. Thank you. So yeah, that's what we're doing. Tiffany, as you can see, solid engineering. She's actively removing these laminated sheets. You can see right here. And we're trying to get it every day, trying to make a little bit more progress toward this. And it's a tough task. It's not easy to remove all these laminated sheets, but once we can do that, we can slide these off. We can save all of the copper that's in these big coils, and we can use them to rewind the coils that we need to power this thing. So that's what we're building. We're not actually building it right now. We're disassembling it, but we will be building it in the future. Richard said Tiffany seems to have a master's in improvised engineering also. I agree with that. I would definitely say so. Tiffany has a master's in a lot of stuff, if you count it by that metric. Tiffany has a master's in being the coolest person. Tiffany has a master's in cute loose buns on the top of her head. Right here, the messy bun. Tiff's got a master's in a lot of cool stuff. In rocking solid band tees. Tiffany has a lot of cool band tees that she likes to wear. President Benjamin Abeliga says, more micronational economics, please, possibly a live stream. That's great. See, these are the content suggestions we need. Yes, we will definitely hit up more micronational economics. I can do like an edit. Edited videos are so hard. I want to try and save all of our stuff.
AP's like, let me just make you guys suffer through me going, what was that thing I was gonna say for a good solid 5 minutes before he says something else because he doesn't want to edit it.
That's fair. Tiff's roasted me out here, but it's an honest roast. I will say, it's an accurate roast. Yeah, I should do more edited content. The edited content takes so much time though. So I think I will probably do the next Micronational Economics as a live stream, like you brought up, President Benjamin. I think that would be a good idea. What I might do to help make it more tolerable though is actually write a script. I've done that for a few previous live streams and it seemed to work out fairly well, but it does cut the live stream short.
You're acting like everyone wants to sit for 4 hours straight.
That's true. That's true. I like to have the long live streams because it helps with our watch time. But you are right. I think the short, concise video on a micronational economics topic will be good. I'll come up with a good one. I have a few ones in mind that I've been wanting to do to expand the micronational economics series, and I just have not hit it. So we will get it soon, and we will drop micronational economics just for you, President Benjamin. I'll make it unlisted, and I'll just send it to you personally.
Try not to get electrocuted
By a balloon. No, I will drop a micronational economics and not
You don't
do
like my science joke?
Get electrocuted by a balloon. What she mean?
No, that was
A kite.
Thomas.
Kite.
Yeah, a kite. That's
Yeah,
a kite.
Thomas Edison kite thing. I thought that was where you were going, but I was like a balloon though. She must be talking about something else.
No,
I appreciate you, girl. Ooh, Manu says, hi, long time. Hey, good to see you, Manu. It has been a long time. It's been a minute. We haven't been able to post a live stream or anything in like 3 weeks because I've been graduating. Tiffany's been having school. I've been having school. Now that we're during the summer, we have more time to do stuff. So hopefully our timeline is lining up with your timeline and we can start hanging out more. We can start doing these live streams more regularly. Uh-oh. Nice. So let me keep reading through the comments. And again, as because we're going to have the ability to do some more content, please give us those suggestions because we're trying to hit those 4,000 watch time hours this summer. We have like 3,200 right now. We need like 800 or 900 more and we will have 4,000 watch time hours. And then we make a little bit of money off of the channel, which will help us out a ton for doing projects like this, for doing stuff with the land, which we did a small live stream on yesterday. So definitely check it out and help us out. It means a lot. You guys have already helped us out more than I could ever ask for, but it does mean a lot that you spend time and continue to support us. Baligo says, enjoyed the other stream. Also, good night or morning, whatever time it is. In BST, it's near midnight, so I'm going to go to sleep. That makes sense. I hope you have a wonderful night, President Baliga. Thank you so much to yourself and the people of Baliga for supporting us, believing in us, and for being our friends in the micronational community. I hope you have a wonderful night and a great tomorrow, and I will see you soon. Max says, congrats, AP. I will graduate in a couple of weeks. Hey, Max, congrats. Me and Max, graduation buddies. That's awesome. I can't wait to see your graduation stuff and to know that you're moving out into the world and doing some big exciting things with your life. I imagine it's a high school graduation. A lot of college graduations are significantly earlier than high school graduations, although if you're in another country, I have no idea how it works, so you may be graduating from college, and I'm just ignorant of other countries. But I am excited to see you graduating from something and moving forward. Let us know what you want to do after your graduation. What are your big plans? The world is your oyster, and we are excited to see how you develop. Tiff don't like oysters. The world is your clamshell. The world Tiff don't like clams either. The world is your pearl. The thing that comes from clams.
No, you can't.
What's up?
Do people ever try to catch a clam in the middle of making a pearl to eat while it's still soft?
To eat the pearl? So I don't think the pearl is ever soft. It's like
I
a
think
mineral.
it's like soft initially when it's like forming.
No, it's just small because it's a mineral deposit, right?
So you just swallow it like a pill.
I guess you probably shouldn't swallow pearls. They're expensive. Like you can make money off
Are
pearls.
they healthy? Does anyone know?
We've been doing it all wrong. We haven't been eating enough pearls, you guys. That's why everybody dies at like 80. You could live to be
That's
like
the secret
400.
of life.
You could live to be 400 if you only ate enough pearls. Not true at all. Don't listen to that at all. Don't eat pearls. Sell pearls.
I don't know, I'm curious.
Tiff's curious. Tiff can do that scientific experiment. If you eat a pearl, Tiff, we'll film it. And we'll tell people how it goes. We'll document your progress.
It's gotta be small.
Tiff's gonna go Super Saiyan by eating a pearl. And we'll all watch her ascent into glory. President Baliga says, thanks for the content. Good night. Good night, President Baliga. Iron Sharpens Iron Fitness says, hello, will someday Aeternia take over the world? Is that a question or a comment? Because they put it with no question mark. They said, hello, will someday Aeternia take over the world? Also, I appreciate that you put the A and the E together. I like that writing of it. It's really cool.
I pinched my finger.
Oh, you okay?
The blade.
You okay?
Yeah.
You didn't cut it, huh?
No, it doesn't seem to be cut. It might be like a little dead skin, but
I got a lot of gross stuff on my mouth now. But I hope you're okay. You good?
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not weak.
Not at all, cutie. Iron, that is a great question. So we're not really trying to take over the world. We're trying to provide a better society for people. So we want to offer an alternative for people who are not happy with their macronations, of course, and other micronations. Of course, that's something that is the reason that I started Aeternia, being dissatisfied with, seeing my parents grow up and try and raise me struggling in the United States economic system, and feeling like as I got older and to voting age that I myself couldn't play as much of a role as I felt I would like to in U.S. politics, and not enjoying the way that I saw.
It's all a show. We say you gotta vote. And every time, the popular vote never wins.
That is true. That is true.
Which is us voting.
Right. So.
And they keep going against us. They go, oh, what? That's what society wants?
Never mind.
We're going this way.
So yeah, solid points by Tiff. And all of those things kind of culminated in my dissatisfaction with living in and developing in the U.S. Of course, I am grateful for the U.S. for all the opportunities that I have had because of it, like going to school. But things could certainly be worse. I will say that. But nevertheless, I feel like there is a better way to live. There are a better way to do things, and there needs to be another alternative for people to find happiness and success in their lives, living in another type of society. That being the case, the Empire of Aeternia was founded. We've been going for 5 years, 3 years on YouTube, almost 4 now, and we are here. So, that being the case, we're not interested in taking over the world. We don't want to have anybody a part of Aeternia who doesn't want to be a part of Aeternia, and there's certainly going to be a lot of people who aren't interested in being a part of Aeternia, but we hope to make Aeternia the best choice. We hope that Aeternia isn't necessarily the thing that reaches the most amount of people, but is the most beneficial for the people who are a part of it. That it is sincerely that everybody who is a part of Aeternia really is excited about being a part of Aeternia and really feels like it is the best place on earth for them to be. That being the case, we want to expand beyond Earth. Why at this point where we're starting to get to the age of space colonization, we're starting to get to the point where people are looking at living on other planets. If we got millions and billions of dollars, if we had the GDP of the United States, we would absolutely not be focusing on trying to take over the world and other countries and subjugate people under our rule. No, we're going to go to space. We're going to go and collect asteroids and make trillions of dollars, and we're going to set up platforms in the ocean and expand our territory that way. We have no need to take over anybody. We are going to expand because we are doing it the right way. We are going to expand because we have people who are eager and desperate to join us and excited for the opportunity to become a part of Aeternia. So we don't need to, coerce or to, force anybody to join us by ruling the world. We want to be the best option. We want to be the thing that people want to become a part of and that people strive to be. We want Aeternia to be the cream of the crop, the creme de la creme. So that's the idea. And I think we are day by day, slowly proving that we have some merit as a nation. We are making progress. We're trying to develop a place for people to live. We are trying to develop an economy to help to support and to sustain some of the projects that we're undergoing. And so we're far from where we need to be to even host a city's worth of a population or even a small gathering of people. We're less than a tribe as far as the amount of residents that we have, but we're well on our way. We have the land now, thanks to you all, which was a years-long push, and we're accelerating quickly. We are upgrading an industry that we started less than a year ago. Well, not less than a year ago, probably about a year ago. We are already expanding an industry that we've just started selling in and making progress in to a large factor. This is something that's incredibly exciting for us, and I think Aeternia, as far as what its scope is almost unlimited. We're limited in time, how long it's going to take us to do these things. But, what happens after I'm gone, what happens in the future of Aeternia is up to the Aeternian people. And I think that is almost unlimited. We can do anything that we want to. We can make a society that truly helps people and truly allows people to feel like they don't have to worry about their survival or whether or not they can take a chance on their dreams because they need financial stability. We want to protect people. We want to benefit people. We want people to feel comfortable and happy and thriving in Aeternia. That is our goal. We don't want to take over the world. We want to provide the best life that we can for our citizens, so much so that people are jumping ship from other nations to join ours. That's the dream. That would be the ideal Aeternia conquers all thing. It's not that we're actually taking over the world to any extent. It's that we are the best, most viable option. There, of course, will always be other options out there. There are, of course, going to be people who, for ever and ever and ever, just for ideological reasons, do not want to be a part of us. And that's fine. There needs to be options for other people. There needs to be lots of competition in the world. That's why micronationalism is so great. But we will provide as much as we can, and we will be the best, hopefully. Elijah says, do a double back roll at 30. We still got 6 away. We need 6 more likes to hit those 30 likes, and then I will attempt to do a double back roll. That is a good one. Richard says, Tiffany is by far the hardest working woman in Aeternia. What would Aeternia be without her? I would say significantly smaller. We would still be going, we would still be moving, of course, but yes, I 100% agree. Tiffany is the hardest working woman in Aeternia, and more so than that, Tiffany is a leader in Aeternia. She is somebody who advises me quite heavily. She's somebody who steers me in a better direction every single day, not only in Aeternia, but in my personal life. Tiffany teaches me a lot. Tiffany is an inspiration to me in what she does. She excels at her schooling. She excels in everything that she does, and I'm just fortunate and lucky to have her as somebody who has found an interest in me and in Aeternia. She does make Aeternia an absolutely wonderful place, and she has accelerated this beyond what I could hope to do myself, absolutely. The Kingdom of Adam says, oh, cool, thanks for explaining. Absolutely, Adam, I'm glad to see. 5 more. We only have 5 more to hit 30. We're getting there. We're getting there, guys. Thank you so much for the likes. 5, and I'll do the double back roll, and I'll post the short of me throwing the stick. Max says, ooh, 4 more. We're getting close. We only got 4 more likes till 30, and then we will do that double back roll, and I'll post a short for you guys tonight. 7 viewers. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Max added some additional. I'm going to start writing this down. Let me grab a sheet of paper, you guys, because I want to write down all of this so I don't forget. We had somebody recommending micronational economics on a live stream. I want to do that. We now have Max recommending content based around how to make your micronation more well-known and respected. That is another big thing that we should cover. That's something we've talked about a little bit, but yes, 100%. Micronational clout, micronational fame, micronational influence, all of that is a big topic of interest. Is Megan coming to hang out with us?
I don't know. Let's go check now.
Gotcha.
She said they closed at 9. It's
Past that.
6 now.
Yeah.
So.
I hope she's okay. I hope she's doing well. But yes, Max, that is a great suggestion. I want to write that down because, yeah, we've talked a little bit about that in live streams, like in doing other stuff, but we've never covered it, I think, as its own individual topic. So that's something that we absolutely should hit and should hit pretty hard. Again, we got four likes left till we hit that 30. Vistern says, hey, Vistern, it's good to see you. Thank you for joining in and hanging out with us. Vistern says, fun fact, someone made a 360-page equation to prove that 1 + 1 = 2. That's a solid proof. I was going to say, I took a course during college that was all on proofs. And it talked a lot about stuff like that, proving that 1 + 1 = 2, proving things like the Pythagorean theorem. Proofs are interesting because you can tackle them so many different ways. You just have to have logical consistency, and it's a really hard thing to do, but incredibly exciting to see done. And certainly a painstaking labor of love for somebody who puts in all the time and effort to make sure that the thing that they're doing is right from every single angle and is right and won't get tripped up and broken later on down the line. Max says, or a Q&A, middle school graduation in California. Hey, congrats on graduating middle school. High school is a big thing. The jump from like middle school to high school is a really big time in people's life. I feel like a lot of people talk about like high school as like, oh, it's the most important time in your life and stuff. I would say,
I don't think it's less important, but I would say that you start to see a little bit more of kids not being so mean. Middle school, there's a lot of mean people. High school's still like mean, but it does seem to chill just a little bit.
I agree with that. I would say, I think a lot of people do like undercut the jump from middle school to high school because there is a lot of like personal development. I feel like I probably grew, I wouldn't say more. It's different. Like going from middle school to high school, you're going through like puberty and stuff, which is a whole crazy thing. So that's a huge time in your life. I hope you get the best out of high school. I hope you enjoy it. Pursue whatever it is that you want to do. Work really hard at your studies, at your interests, at your hobbies, because all of those things, one, make you unique, and they allow you to learn more about what you want to do after you get out of high school. But the second thing is that they also make you super valuable as a candidate for secondary school if you're wanting to go into continuing your education in college, if you're wanting to go to work at a business or get hired onto somewhere right after high school. Having hobbies, having good grades, killer as a valuable candidate. People get picked up all the time for like full ride scholarships to places. People get picked up all the time to become like in pretty good positions at companies and stuff just from having solid grades and good hobbies and stuff that they've been able to talk about, solid experiences, solid skills that they have developed in high school and college. Learn about who you are in high school. I think that's really the time to do it. Of course, college, if you go to college, you're going to
do that much more.
You're going to do it that much more, absolutely. You're really going to refine who it is that you are and really start pushing hard towards your goals. But high school is the place to start figuring that out. If you're in middle school and you're like, I have no idea what I want to do with my life, that's perfectly fine. Even if you get out of high school and you're like, I have no idea what I want to do with my life, that's okay. But if you can get the jump on it in high school and start learning about who you are, start understanding what it is, the way you see the world, what it is that you're interested in, what it is that you like, what it is you want to pursue as a career, you have a step up above everybody else who hasn't figured that out yet. So good luck, and I am excited to see what you pursue in your life. I hope we get to follow along with that to some degree. Republic of Iston says, also, hey, Aeternia, I sent a message on email. Thank you so much. I will definitely reply. I know we've been kind of going back and forth, but I've been slow, again, with my graduation and stuff.
It's taken me a long time to actually just now start to reply to everybody and start to get the ball rolling for this summer. But now that we're in the summer, we're pushing forward. So thank you so much for your patience and for allowing us to continue the conversation with you. Max says, I will be traveling to Central America during the summer to check up on our former colonies there. Very exciting.
Tell me if that moves.
If what moves? This?
Yeah, I keep pulling at this,
No.
but I don't think it's doing it.
No, not at all. It's just so tight. All this is just... Not even an inch. No. No, it's not.
What about here?
No, it's not. Nothing. It's so tight in there. It's such a problem.
But yeah, Max, why is it that they're former colonies? What happened? Retro Films and History says, I sent you some of the things I made on Discord. Feel free to take a look after the stream. Thank you so much. I am excited, and I definitely will. Having somebody who is a skilled craftsman is like a hard thing to find. So I am excited to have somebody not only who's a... You okay? I was slinging this piece of metal and I was worried about cutting it. Are you good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This got my knees feeling that it hurts to try to straighten my legs.
Oh, I understand. Do you think you could do me one extra flavor, even after all the flavors you've been doing? Whenever you get a chance, could you refresh the comments so that I don't miss people? Because I hate to be rude to you guys while I'm trying to do this, but I have been having Tiff do this for way too long, so I need to pick up on my slack. But tell me about those former colonies. Also, I have been really trying to find somebody who can do more skilled stuff for us, so I'm excited to check out what you've done.
You had
so
already
far.
read the one about the string. Sending you. You already read that one?
I just sent you, yes, that's what I was just talking about. So thank you, Film Games.
Is it a Y or an A? Oh, I don't know accents on Y's.
Nada? Is that it? It's not Nada.
JYA. But there's an accent on the
I
Y.
say,
I don't know.
Jaya, but I feel like that's what they actually prefer to go by is Manu. So if you call them Manu, that's because I've said Jaya before and they're like, no, it's Manu. So my apologies.
So Manu says the new human religion will be born after we see Super Saiyan. Is this? Oh, Super Slaying Tiff.
Yeah, Super Saiyan
Okay.
Tim. Yeah, from eating the pearl.
Well, tell me a second, because I didn't see the L initially.
It's gonna be an Aeternian myth of Tiff and the Pearl.
Why do you set it this way? You always do this.
So it tilts
You
and
pick
that's-
such a wrong way of setting up stuff.
Tiff's got improvements for us. She's engineering the stream now and improving it already.
Wow.
Wow. Also, I was worried this stream was going to be a little bit boring because we are just like coming back to this transformer. But honestly, I've been having fun. You guys have had great conversations. I really appreciate y'all keeping us company tonight.
Oops. My hands are all up in
And
the
I
way.
hope it's like fairly interesting content because we're legitimately like being able to upgrade an industry and hopefully kind of teach you guys about some of the stuff that Aeternia is up to and what we're interested in our professional careers as well.
That may be too high.
And maybe for some of you younger people who are interested in learning about different science, technology, engineering, and mathematics professions that you might learn a thing or two. Find a passion you like.
I don't like that either. I'm gonna undo it. AP.
Yes, ma'am. Whoa, 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 whoa.
This. I still don't like your way.
I definitely understand.
Oops, oops, oops. Oh. Does that sit well?
Ooh. A lot of Snapchats. Okay, let me see if I can't keep pulling some of these out.
try to cut from this side.
I need something. I need something. Stick in here.
We're getting it, guys. We're trying to jump back in so we can answer some of your comments. I appreciate y'all being patient and hitting us up. Again, more like content ideas. We already got micronational economics. We already got talking about how to create more influence for your nation, how to make your nation more popular, more interesting for people.
Okay, that's a bit better.
So yeah, we're definitely gonna have those as some live streams at some point pretty soon.
Okay.
Maybe even edited videos. No. But I don't want to promise too much and not be able to.
Rob says hello from Italy.
Oh, hello, Rob. It's good to see you. Thank you so much for spending time with us all the way in Italy. I'm glad to see we have some international viewers tonight. And as well, thank you.
Hey, chill.
Uh-oh. My father.
Okay.
Yeah, I appreciate you hanging out with us, Rob, all the way from Italy. Can you hit that second volume button? Phone call. Hey, there we go. We're back, guys. Sorry, I was getting a phone call, and so it disconnected. I hope we are good. Let us know if we have any lag or any issues that come up because of that. But yeah, we're glad to have you here. I imagine it's fairly late in Italy, but I do appreciate you taking your time out to spend with us tonight. We are upgrading our Aeternian technology right now. We're actively trying to repair and improve our electric arc furnace.
So, Richard said, "Congratulations, AP, you're graduating, and the granddaughter of a woman I used to work with is starting college."
Hey, very cool. New beginnings all around. Absolutely.
Fake Name said, "I was AFK
Away from the keyboard. Makes sense.
for a bit, but I'm back." Then he
Hey.
goes on to say, "Oh gosh, the I hate saying that word because I always butcher it.
What is it?
Where you have like a square polynomial and you have to find all of the different stuff, like what y is, b squared plus minus radical b.
Oh, quadratic.
Yeah.
Quadratic.
No. The one with triangle. Sorry. The Pythagorean. Yeah, I hate that word.
Yeah,
I can't say it super
it's
great.
a Greek guy.
Yeah. So I see that enough now. School probably means now at school.
Yeah.
Pythagorean
Pythagorean identities are a whole thing.
Yeah. I know them. I can't say it properly.
Yeah. It's important. Like whatever you're learning in school right now is probably like basic Pythagorean theorem stuff. Once you get into college, if you continue in a STEM field and you have to learn calculus, there are whole like sections of identities that you have to memorize that are based on that original Pythagorean theorem. So the better you get at geometry and the Pythagorean theorem, the better that you're going to be at using those proofs and just thinking of them off the top of your head. So it's important.
Maximilian says, "Thank you. I hope in the future she, United Emperor and Aeternia become strong allies."
Absolutely.
Did I say she? Where does it say she? I don't know why I said she.
We're good. Genders for nations are fine.
B, not she. B. No, this is why I'm not put on comment.
You can't misgender people's nations, too.
Sorry. Bonnie says, "At Maximilian, where in Central America?"
Ooh, these are great questions.
Retro Films and History says, "I'm graduating high school in the coming weeks. This was my last week, but I would say in high school, get very good grades, stay focused, and maintaining good friendships. High school will be rewarding later."
Oh, absolutely. That's solid advice, Retro. I completely agree.
Maximilian said, "Manu, El Salvador."
Ooh, very cool. how did you end up getting colonies in El Salvador? Like, tell us about that. Was that something that just all of a sudden came up, or have you known people in El Salvador and now you're, do you have family there or something, and it just happened that now you're able to visit? Tell us about it. Have you ever been to El Salvador before? I guess.
You say that, but the one that literally follows is, yeah, we have independence to some colonies as long as we can have soldiers in the territory and use our currency. So we are still close to our colonies. Unfortunately, some have also declared war on us, and I'm a commander in our army. So yeah.
Oh goodness. I hope everything is resolved quickly and as peacefully as possible. That sounds rough.
Manu said I actually just felt like putting the accent on the Y. Okay.
Makes sense.
I don't know what all the accents on Y stand for. I know some of the E's now and N's from when I did like intro to Spanish, but I still don't know them all. I know a couple, like the little tilde over the N. I know that one, and that's pretty much the one that I have stuck in my mind the most.
I was gonna say I could not give any advice. I'm not great with languages.
Manu continues to say, so the former colonies are now their own thing? Question.
That's a great question. I am curious about that as well.
Maximilian says, retro films and history, I will keep that in mind. Fake name says, Maximilian, have you ever considered incursion?
He's trying to pitch his micronational strategy.
Maximilian said, oh, how to balance personal life and micronational life.
Ooh, those are great topics. Oh gosh, I really need to start writing some of this now. If you guys can hang on for like 10 seconds, I'm gonna grab a sheet of paper because I don't want to forget any of these. I have been thinking about.
Hey!
Yes.
Why you leave? Just sit right there. You don't even know where you're going.
Because I want to get like a sheet of paper and a pencil.
I know what you're wanting, but there's just stuff already over here.
Thank you, Tim. But yes, that is a great idea. I have been thinking about that as well. Like work life, home life balance stuff for micronationalism is tough. I have been having to learn about that for years and I'm still not great at it. So I want to give my experience, my problems that I've run into, and hopefully give you guys some encouragement. Because honestly, I think a lot of it is just about sticking it out and finding ways to enjoy the difficult times. But we will get more into that in a whole different video. That's a great topic.
I got a piece of paper right here. I gotta go grab a pen or something. I didn't see one behind. There you go.
Thank you. Okay.
You're welcome. I'll be right back.
Thank you, Mian. Tiff's killing the game, guys. Y'all don't even know. Tiff's juggling like 10 different tasks, actively killing every single one of them. Richard was 1,000,000% right when he said she is the hardest working woman in Aeternia. She might be the hardest working person in Aeternia. I am attempting to be the hardest working person in Aeternia, but sometimes Tiff has me beat. So y'all should definitely give props to Tiffany. She is absolutely a competitor for the top spot, and most certainly one of Aeternia's greatest assets by far. Recognized, but certainly not recognized enough. So I do want to just thank Tiffany and let you guys know how much she means to me and how much everything that she does truly, truly helps to make Aeternia what it is. But yeah, I definitely think like work-life balance stuff is huge. Talking about micronationalism, there's not really a ton talked about on that topic, and it's something that's really hard to cover because it's unique to every person. Nobody's going to be able to give you like solid advice for your specific situation, but there's like general advice that I think can go a long way on that subject that I want to talk about. Because I know there have been times, especially in the last couple of years as things have been growing, where I really wish I had some of that advice and where I kind of knew some of the things, that I know now going into it about like what kind of struggles to expect, what kind of things, that I would need to overcome and need to learn about not only my micronation, about Aeternia, and about how to make things for it best, but also how to just cope with some of that growth and some of those challenges that you have to take on as a leader and as somebody, even not a leader, just as somebody who is a part of a micronation, but especially for micronational leaders. Okay, so topics. We have our viewer suggested topics list. Our first one was
There you are. Where'd you go? Were you just laying on the couch? Huh?
micronational economics. Second one is how to grow micro influence and popularity. And then the third one, which is really good, I like that one. Work life balance slash what was the how to balance personal life, how to balance personal versus micronational life. That is a great question, and that's a great topic to talk about. Fake name says Italy, the homeland of civilization. I would say that's Africa, right? Africa is the birthplace of civilization. Ari says hello. Hey Ari, how are you? Although Italy has amazing civilizations. We got one viewer. I appreciate the one viewer sticking in with us, hanging out. If there is more than one viewer and I'm just not seeing y'all, I do appreciate. Hey, we got two. It's coming back. Let's see who this is. Retro says, I thought about running a micronation and sewn a flag and enacted a lot of government documents such as the Constitution, Currency, and Standardization Acts, but decided to join a micronation instead. And I'm glad to hear that. It's really important. Micronations need help. Like, there are so many types of micronations out there. There, I don't think, is any single idea for a micronation, as long as it's, relatively general, that hasn't already been created. You can make a super specific micronation that's unique, but at the same time, you're taking resources from every other micronation who may be almost identical to what you want with your micronation, save for like one detail. So instead of trying to, create a whole new thing that's its own thing all by itself, instead try to work toward like shaping that nation into what you want, into what you hope to see out of society, because it's a lot easier to influence a micronation than it is a macronation, and you can probably just become a leading figure in it pretty easily if you want to, and influence a lot of its decisions in the way that it develops. So,
Or even just do some weird thing.
Absolutely.
Like, in the sense that if you want your own, then just like put them together and be like, we're two colonies that like live together because we both have the same ideas.
Absolutely.
But we don't want to give up technically some of our own like growing stuff.
Mm-hmm. And I would say that that's one of the things that's really difficult about it, is like there are so many different micronations that a lot of them have trouble finding people to join them, and a lot of them have trouble actually advancing beyond certain stages, so their founders end up stopping and falling out simply because they do not have enough support. And it's not that people don't like their ideas, it's not that they don't have good ideas and good methods for development, it's that it's such a saturated community. So 100% joining a micronation is not only one of the most important things you could do as a micronationalist, but also is one of the most important things you could do for any micronation. Like, the second that you become a citizen of another nation, you are immediately becoming like and if you take it seriously and you dedicate yourself to that, you are easily becoming one of the most valuable people in that nation. That's how people get government positions really quickly and titles and stuff really quickly, which we've all talked about on the channel before. But it's so much different to be able to see that in person, and to be able to watch how much just one individual person giving a fraction of their time every once in a while to the development of a nation, how much that can affect that nation and how much that can lead to its success or failure. And that's something that Aeternia is a testament to, absolutely. It's not that we've had, thousands of people helping us or anything like that. It's that we've had a good number of people who support us, and then we've had a very small number of people who have been very consistently dedicated. People who have shown up year after year to continue to help us make strides in our goals and to continue to teach us about what we need to do to make Aeternia a better place to live, a better place to have citizenship. And that's ultimately what all this is about for us. It's trying to get Aeternia to a point where, and I think micronationalism in general, to get it to a point where people are excited to come and join it, and excited to come and live, excited to come and work, and to make that reasonable for them to do. So, absolutely, being the one of the first citizens of a micronation, deciding to join a micronation instead of starting your own, a huge service to not only the micronational community but also to individual micronations. If you help to pool your resources and make one micronation really successful, talking about the community, it also helps because then that micronation that's really powerful and successful can start to invest back into the community resources that it never had before, money and time and equipment and opportunities for other micronations, whether that's in trade, whether that's in whatever it is, new opportunities, whether that's in potential trade agreements, whatever, that those other micronations would never have had access to and may not have the funding to get access to. So we are able to lift each other up as we support each other's nations. But it takes just a certain amount of people dedicating and saying, no, this is the nation that I'm rooting for. This is the nation that I think has the best chance of really making a large-scale impact on the community. And for us, that's Aeternia. For me, of course I'm biased because Aeternia is a nation that I started, but I looked before I started Aeternia in trying to join other nations and trying to see how other nations are run. And I feel like this is legitimately a solid model for doing it. It's certainly not the only model, but it is one that I think has thus far been tried and kind of tested as fairly successful. And it's something that I feel has a lot of room to grow. We are at the beginning of Aeternia. We are not at the end. So people who are joining, like yourself, and like other people who are joining micronations, you're getting in on the ground floor of something big. And to me, that's exciting. I only wish there were more developed micronations and more serious micronations that were around when I was initially trying to join micronations and learning about micronationalism, because who knows where the community would be at this point if that were the case. And again, I might not have learned nearly as much. So, because I wouldn't have had to do it all myself. But I think that's one of the big parts of micronationalism, is just learning and developing alongside people who can help each other. And the more that we are different nations, the less we are able to do that, the less we are able to actually help each other because we're all these kind of standalone islands. Also, still 4 away from the 30. We're getting close. We are 4 likes away from 30 likes and the drop of a YouTube short tonight.
Retro Films and History said, I thought about running a micronation.
Yep, we just talked about
okay, that's the one you just read.
Yep.
So then we're on to Manu.
Yes.
Manu said, Spanish doesn't use accent and Y. I just think of it as the I sound.
Oh.
Yeah, I haven't seen accents in Y. I've seen it on the N's and sometimes on the E's, but mainly on the N's I've noticed mostly. So those are the ones that I know, but any accents on any other letter, I pretty much go,
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm going to say it like a regular A or something, because I'm not sure. Retro Films and History said it... One second. Excuse me. So if you ever want a colony in Georgia, let me know. but if not, I'm fine being a citizen and helping where I can.
Ooh, that means a lot. I would say, I think, wait, colony and did he give context to that? Is there like another thing?
Other than the one that you had already read and moved on past.
Oh, fair enough. Well, so I was gonna say, I think that's the thing that's interesting, right? I 100% want all the help that we can get. I think,
This is probably what you said earlier.
yeah.
Maybe the thing he's referencing to when you were like, if we can expand out more in this would good and if we
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, so I was gonna say, we definitely need leaders. Like, it's not that like, oh, we're like really picky on that sort of thing. It's more so the fact that like we need to be really well organized, and that's something that's pretty difficult in general for micronationalism. I want to talk to you more specifically about this, and we will talk about it after the stream within the next day or two. But the big interest that I have, especially if you have leadership skills, especially if you want to really promote Aeternia, is for us to do joint projects together because we're relatively close to each other. I'm sure that there's stuff that we can do that would help to expand the name of Aeternia a lot. I don't think necessarily creating a colony is the right way to go, simply because it requires, getting your own like people to come and join it, and trying to recruit people to help out and doing all of this sort of internal infrastructure stuff, which gets really, really complicated really quick. Just because I've seen we actually ran a pretty complex government structure for a little while with multiple people handling like different departments and stuff. And we still have that active, but it's taken a large back seat to some of our other projects right now, simply because trying to expand out and have a lot of like people managing different things becomes hard to do consistently. And so right now I think we're trying to focus more on consistency. So if we can find ways to still advertise and to still use your leadership skills effectively, we want to do that, but we want to do it in a way, I think, that makes it easiest for people to feel like we're a cohesive group instead of like there's some of us over here and it's scattered. We want to try to find ways to join together as much as possible.
Maximilian said, Manu, the French have some like corporation agreements with former colonies.
Ooh, interesting.
Richard Taylor retracted message. Maximilian said, Google it. We ours isn't exactly the same, but it explains somewhat.
This is an interesting conversation. Everybody's got some interesting points.
Fake Name said Africa is birthplace of humanity, but not civ. He put civ, but I imagine it's just civilization. After all, Italy had Rome. Africa did not. Okay, now make your comment.
Sure. So what I was referring to saying that Africa is the birthplace of civilization is that that's literally a name that historians give it. Mesopotamia and the civilizations that preceded it near the Tiger and Euphrates rivers, near North Africa, are some of the oldest and most successful civilizations that have ever existed. So, of course, maybe not as technologically advanced, but for their time, they were like monumental accomplishments. They were things, most of human civilization up to that point for thousands and thousands and thousands of years being subsistence farming, and barely even that. Going from that to like a city, like what we consider a city in modern times, but just like Rome. Like what Rome was able to do is built on the back of like Mesopotamia. So if you want to talk about like the original like birthplace of civilization, where like you have actual societies and cities and cultures being developed and recorded, Mesopotamia is the first one. Absolutely.
Manu says different civilizations started in different places.
Yes, that is true.
How do you call this one?
I'm sorry. I say Aradelk.
Okay. Ardelk says, I'm good, AP. how are you? And do you have a Roblox account?
I
Wait, there's more. If so, can you please tell us?
Sure. I do have a Roblox account. I haven't used it in a long time. When I was with my previous girlfriend, Hannah, she really liked Roblox.
I'm kidding. I don't care.
When I was dating my previous girlfriend, Hannah, she really liked Roblox, and we played Roblox a couple times on stream. But since then, I just haven't really played Roblox. So.
What do you think your tongue out?
It's fun. Like, I have fun with it, but I haven't really invested as much in it as I have with like the Minecraft stuff that we've done and a lot of the other things that we've been interested in. So, I can tell it to you, but I'm honestly not sure that I can like dedicate really any time or effort to it right now. Unless there's just like overwhelming demand for Roblox for some reason, I don't think I'm gonna be hitting up Roblox too often.
Richard Taylor says, Tiffany, if you start your own micronation, I'll leave Aeternia and join yours.
Oh my God, Richard, no, the loyalty. Ah.
Fate Name says,
I would join hers too. Don't even worry.
Fate Name says, isn't the Tigris and the
Euphrates.
Euphrates in West Asia?
It is not. It isn't. I mean, West Asia is in North Africa, like the continent. But I get what you're saying. Yeah, like Middle Eastish area, but it's technically North Africa where those two rivers are.
Okay. Retro Films and History said, I have leadership experience from running a micronation on a video game with my friend for 5 years, and I enjoy doing government stuff. It's my favorite thing to do. I'm more than willing to endure that.
Oh, absolutely. So then that would be perfect. Yeah, absolutely.
Fake Name says, anyways, that's just my Roman restorationist. I don't know. You come read it.
Anyways, that's just my Roman restorationist speaking.
Fair enough.
Of
Just having a
course.
preference for Rome, yeah, over civilization. That makes sense. And I can respect it. Rome was a very well-known and very expansive civilization.
Do you mainly go by first names or last names?
I generally go by first, but it depends on what they're doing.
Nolan said, what are you working on right now?
Would you care to explain?
So, AP had the original arc furnace, whatever, small scale. This is big scale now. We gotta take out these plates so that we can redesign the way that these wires are in here, because each of these black things sitting here are 3 big old windings. Oh my god, I'm gonna twist it the wrong way. That's a big old winding, that's a big old winding, that's a big old winding. So we want to remove these out so we can get through these wires, take them out, and then redo it. Okay, well look, I am not seeing where it's pointing.
No,
It just looks like the right direction.
Yeah, you got it.
So these have been pulled off, and what was sitting between them was plates like these, so that we can loosen it up. And that's it, making a bigger, more efficient arc furnace. And as this AP has said maybe 5 or 6 times now, earlier in the stream, that the other arc furnace, because it was smaller, it would melt most metals, but we could only do we only make so much of it at a time, where this thing here should be producing like pounds at a time.
Well said, too.
Thanks. Maximilian said, I thought the Tigris was in the Middle East.
Middle East, North Africa. Yeah, it's technically North Africa, but yes. Middle East is like a general term for West Asia, North Africa.
Retro Films and History said, Emperor AP, we definitely need to talk. Sometime I'm going I said that so wrong. Now it sounds weird. I gotta redo it. Emperor AP, we definitely need to talk sometime. I'm gonna stick around the stream, but I'm getting ready to do airsoft with my friend tomorrow, so I'll be away from the keyboard for the most part.
Makes sense. We will definitely talk very soon. I appreciate your support so much. It legitimately means a lot to be learning more about you and your interests and what you want to do with Aeternia. Tiffany's cat fighting right now. But yeah, it means a lot, and I feel like the best place to the best way to incorporate citizens into Aeternia and into any micronation is to learn what they want to do and to move forward with that. So I am excited to see what we can come up with together and how we can incorporate what we've already been doing into Aeternia in your hopes and dreams, and to make that worthwhile for you. So I appreciate it. I am excited for you for Airsoft tomorrow, and we will continue this conversation 100%.
You're gonna knock down the camera.
Let me see. Yeah, I appreciate it. We've been going on for almost 3 hours, and we got like significant people watching. We've had like all the way up to like 10 for like a good amount of time.
You have 4 at the moment. You're still 4 away from 30.
Yeah, we're still 4 away from 30 likes.
Fake name says Aeternia kind of sounds like the Latin word for internal. Aeterna. That one.
Oh, okay.
Internal.
Aeterna. Absolutely. So
Yes,
I was gonna.
said it right. You just looked at me weird.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was gonna say that's actually a great point that you bring up, fake name, because we actually have talked about the origins of the name Aeternia, and if you go back and watch some of our previous videos, I describe it more. Aeternia is actually a combination of 2 words in the English language, which of course are derived from Latin, but eternal, which means everlasting, and ethereal, which means light or airy, like a spirit. And so originally when Aeternia was founded, we didn't have any territory, but we knew we wanted Aeternia to last forever, which actually comes up with Richard Taylor's famous motto for Aeternia, which developed into one of our more official mottos, Aeternia forever. And so that's exactly what Aeternia means. Aeternia means forever. You know, it means something that is like an undying spirit. It is something that whether we have land all across the world and are expansive and have a huge population, or whether it's just in the hearts and minds of a few people who really care about it, Aeternia will last forever in that spirit, in those hearts and minds. So we have people all over the world who support us. We have people who are citizens who are carrying out their lives as Aeternians and view themselves as Aeternians. And so that's what makes Aeternia great, and that's what makes it our home, is all of those people. So 100%, you are right on the money with describing the roots, the linguistic roots of Aeternia, and kind of sniffing out what that means and where it could come from. You were very, very close to actually just the direct definition of what Aeternia is and means. So great job. That's really cool. That's really cool.
We're going to start thinking about dinner plans.
Yes. Do you want to like get a thing? Do you want to go like, make a thing? What you want to do? Well, we are gonna have to think about dinner plans soon. We've got we're at 2 hours 48 minutes right now. We'll go till 3 hours, and then I will call it for tonight, guys. But you guys have been Tiffany's attacking me. You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Again, we're gonna stay for another 15 minutes or so. Make sure we get the rest of your questions knocked out. Anything that's been pressing for the last 3 weeks since we've been able to do a real sincere stream with you guys. And so yeah, I wanted to tell you all thank you so much for being here and for helping us out. Again, I've got our list of topics that we're gonna have to go over for different future videos, and I can't wait for seeing some of your reactions to that. I know all of these are like burning questions that happen in the micronational community, so that would be another good thing. If anybody has any more topics they would like for us to cover in the next few weeks or months on the channel, please let me know, because I'll start preparing those videos and start thinking about them. The more in advance that I can like have ideas ready and start preparing them, the easier it is for me to come out with those edited videos and actually make nice stuff with it. So I appreciate you guys throwing in those like hard-hitting ideas. And also, once those videos come out, if you can, please try and share them, and please try and like get the word out on them. Because if you had the idea and you were like, oh, this would be a good idea for a live stream or an edited video, you know there are 10 or 15 other people who have been dying to see that topic answered. So I appreciate it, you guys. You all are legitimately helping to like expand the body of knowledge on what micronations are and how people go about developing them. Thank you for being a part of this community.
So, Fake Name said not to be a neckbeard, but English is German derivative, but its alphabet is Latin derivative.
Well, I will say I am bad with linguistics, so you are absolutely schooling me, and I appreciate it. It's not neckbeard, you're legitimately teaching me. I will be slightly more informed from now on. And please continue to tell me when I make slip-ups like that. I appreciate it.
Maximilian said the United Empire's official languages are English, Spanish, and German. I know English and Spanish, and learning German, they are similar somewhat.
Very good. What's the hardest thing about learning a new language for you? It seems like now you've learned like a couple. What do you feel like is the most confusing thing? If you had to learn, like, I know it sounds like you've been learning Latin-based languages, but if all of a sudden you had to learn like Mandarin, how would you go about learning Mandarin? What is the toughest part about the initial grasp of a language?
Elijah Wood said, everyone like the video, let's hit 30.
Yes, please, guys. Ooh, we're at 26. We only got 4 more, and then I would drop that straight up YouTube short tonight of me throwing a stick and goofing, and I will put a silly background music on it.
Retro
You guys will
film.
see my fail. Sorry.
Yeah, failing hard. Retro films and history, a good video suggestion is how to go about making a currency and how to legitimize it or back it by something so it has value.
Ooh, so I will talk about this. We did a whole micronational economics series where we have several videos on that exact topic. If you haven't checked those out, I definitely recommend you do. We're of course going to continue. We already have micronational economics as an additive, as an added thing that we're going to keep pushing toward. But 100%, that's something we've already covered. In the first like 3 episodes of micronational economics, we talk about, basic economic systems, creating a currency. Hey, 27, we're only 3 away. We're 3 away from that 30.
It must be slow though, because I saw another comment that said 2 more.
Oh, fair enough. Maybe we'll hit up that 30.
But anyway, continue your talk.
Yes.
Of how you already have videos on it.
Yes, we already have videos on it. If you haven't checked those out, you definitely should. I'm a fan of fiat currencies. So there are going to be other people who say, oh, you really need to back something on it, and that's what's most important. Money is a made-up thing. It's not real. It's something that we assign value to. And so you don't, especially as a micronation, especially in the modern age, especially dealing with the internet and the way that fast-acting trading can happen, you do not need, and assigning value to things that are literally digital, literally virtual things, you do not need to back your currency on a thing. I feel like that's a huge misconception, and it tends to be a misunderstanding in the way that value is derived in a currency. We have for many, many, many millennia backed our currency on things because it helps to provide some basis of value. But almost every single country in the world has switched from a backed currency to a fiat currency for that reason, for good reason, in saying that it is not necessary to any degree. The only reason that we use money is to understand an exchange medium, but that exchange medium doesn't actually have to have an inherent value. It just has to be accepted. That's all you're trying to get people to do, is accept it. So if you have this hoard of gold or silver or whatever you're doing that you're not actually using for anything other than to just back your currency, it's sitting and doing nothing, and it's a waste of resources. It is literally inefficient to back your currency. But you can definitely do it.
I mean, it's not like necessarily gold's like valuable either. It's just that heavy metal thing that people think is pretty.
Yes,
it's
but
just
also
we say
it's
that
used in like electronics and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very multi-purpose thing. I'm just saying, like, anything that we use like that is all kind of the same. Like, we just say that it is,
Yes.
even if it's not. I mean, the paper money is definitely worse,
Yes.
but still same concept. It's just at least the gold and silver have some purposes.
Agreed. The only thing I'm saying about gold and silver and stuff like that, backing a currency is a problem because what you do when you back a currency is you just shove it in a vault. You just say nobody touches this unless you want to exchange it back for the gold or the silver or whatever.
Give me gold.
But then you don't. But then it's not.
Give me gold.
But that's the thing. Until somebody wants it back, you're just letting it.
Give me
sit there.
gold.
So that's really what it is. It's people.
Give me
wanting to
gold,
have
and then we
another
can
thing.
go. We can melt it, and we'll make that much more money.
Silly.
Maximilian said, about to watch your hut video or whatever after this.
Hey, thank you, Max. That means a lot. It helps us to get the watch time up, and also it helps to learn about how we can make improvement. There are a ton of people in this community who know more about bushcraft and building stuff and designing stuff than I do. So I'm sure you guys will have a ton of comments about how to improve our minimalist
9
structure.
people watching.
Ooh, thank you guys. We got 9 viewers right now.
How did you say you said this one again?
We are certainly going to be hitting those watch time hours. Trying to get that 4K this summer.
What was it?
I say Aradel. 2 more likes,
Aradel.
says Aradel. But
Okay.
I see 3 on our end. I see us at 27.
It's
so we're
just
getting
it's
close.
just going slow. It's fine. Maximilian said, the confidence I will be learning Mandarin in the summer.
Ooh.
Oh, confidence. I said confidence. I meant to say coincidence.
Ooh, very
So you caught him. You
Ni
caught him
hao,
before he
Hadass.
even did it.
Very cool.
Fate Name said, I got an ideal to get Micronations more known.
I am excited to hear it.
Richard Taylor said, I haven't said this in a while. Love to you, Tiffany. Oh, goodness. Form it. They're right.
Oh. Y'all are cute.
Maximilian said the most difficult part for German and Spanish is when to use gender and pronouns. I got distracted by Mina's jumping. Yeah, pronunciations.
Mm-hmm.
It's just sometimes like the spelling of it throws me off. I have to question if I said it right. Okay. Fake Name says, for the sake of traditionalism, I back my currency. I will back my currency.
Oh, agreed. And again, there's nothing wrong with it if it is your preference. Like, you can say, this is just what I want to do. And I think, honestly, that's what a lot of Micronations do, is they say, it's just what I want to do, and this is what I'm interested in. And that's good. That's a good reason. Saying it's a part of my culture, saying it's a part of, what I care about, and it's what I think is valuable. That's a great reason to do it. Culture is the, epitome of everything in micronationalism. You should 100% do it because it is a part of your culture, because it's what you feel is important. But there are other micronations who are really loud and pronounced about saying, that's the only way. You have to back your currency, otherwise it's not worth it. It's not a valuable thing if you don't back it. And that's not true. Economically speaking, if you talk to modern economists, that's just not true. There are some fringe modern economists who will continue to gripe about that. It's not necessary.
That
Yeah,
4-year-old
it's
is back. They're about to come inside.
Yo.
And then it's going to be noisy.
Yep. And that'll be good coinciding with the stream. We got about a minute 30 seconds left in the stream, guys. I appreciate you guys hanging out with us.
Did you read any more comments while I was gone or
No.
no? Okay. Retro Films and History said, I collect bottle caps, so me and friends made them worth 25 cents, and we would gamble bottle caps in middle school. And yes, I'm a major Fallout fan, and you said you like it as well.
I do. I want to play more Fallout 4. I played a little bit of it, but not too much. I love it, though. I love that you can build your own base and kind of make a micronation in it. It's super cool. If you guys have not played Fallout 4, it's a solid game. People love it, but it's good. Okay.
I told you.
Yep.
He's watching you.
Excuse me 1 second, Titus.
Maximilian said, United Empire use course bank currency. Maxo says, Aeternia is the best micronation I have seen with the best leader. Thank you so
They're all
much.
gone.
I appreciate it, Maximo. We are in the presence of children now, so I will have to go in just a moment. Ari says, I'm learning Mandarin because my mom is Chinese and I barely remember anything. Oh, that's very cool. If you ever need someone to practice with, I would love to learn. We gotta try it out together.
I love you.
What's up, dude? How you doing?
I love you.
I appreciate it. Love you too, Titus.
Yeah.
Max says, soon we will commit in Mandarin and only we will understand. Ooh, yeah, of course. We gotta go back and forth in Mandarin. Elijah says the U.S. currency is not currently backed by anything. Exactly. Most countries around the world do not have their currency backed on anything because it's not necessary. Fake Name says I'm headed out. See you later. So are we. We just hit 3 hours. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. We didn't hit 30, but we were close. I'm gonna still probably post that thing at some point anyway. But I appreciate you guys. I hope you all have a wonderful night. If it's night there, if it's morning, I hope you have a wonderful morning. Max says see ya. Fake Name says see ya. Retro says we'll have a nice dinner, AP and Miss Tiffany. Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Good luck with paintball tomorrow. I have everybody's suggestions. I'm gonna add them and write them down, and we will bring more up very soon. I'll probably do a live stream either tomorrow or the next day, show you guys some progress. But I'll see you later. Bye, everybody. Aeternia forever.
Bye now.